One of them was infinitely more interesting than the other, but
Okay. All things
one of them
created
we were just
equal.
tapping.
Did we get a message from Sabo or Lawrence saying that they weren't going to be here?
I mean, Lawrence is usually later in the stream, and I don't know about Saba.
Oh well, Sabo will be here if she has time. All right, we're good to go. We're back, and I have been dying to get back into this because do you remember the last thing we were doing, Adrian?
We were gonna be convincing the jury
We
with
were
their
gonna
own
be
arguments.
we were gonna be using the jury's arguments against themselves.
We still don't know their
destroying
names.
them
They're just
facts
juries
and
1 through
logic.
6.
There was no one else in the carriage at the time, so it had to be him. I trust the driver. He has an excellent memory. It seems 4 passengers with fares totaling 20 pence. He stuck the chat. Oh, right, because my theory was this guy versus the old lady. Because he says that he stabbed him when he was right next to him, and then she, the old lady, says when he was on the ground. Yeah, she's not saying anything contradictory. What?
Why'd you just send a screenshot of the title card, Grant?
Yep, unedited.
I don't see any
The
edits.
Grant Ace Attorney.
Oh, god damn it!
I was like, I don't get it.
I can't believe that's so subtle.
It is. It's actually like once you notice it, it becomes really obvious. But that's so funny.
Wow.
All right.
I can't believe we've all been bamboozled by Grant yet again.
You can trust the guild. Fair fares is our motto. We haven't raised our price of 4 pence for years. And if there's 4 passengers, wouldn't that be 16?
Yes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna
Yes.
I'm gonna pit her against him.
What the fuck? I missed a lot.
You did. You can't even begin to believe how much you missed.
I mean, basically, we got more stuff that damned us, but then we got shreds of hope in between.
Well, there was also
Damn.
cool shit.
Well-
Like we got to go inside the carriage that the murder took place in.
True, and we didn't
Wait.
find an
They
immense amount of
wheeled
useful stuff
the carriage into the courtroom.
because
Wait,
it's that
carriage? Did
Yeah.
we finish the boat?
Oh yeah, we.
big. Oh. You weren't even here for when we finished the boat.
Yeah, we're on the next
I
case
was
after
at a
that.
wedding.
Oh yeah, we finished the boat, Grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait, do you know what happened at the end of the boat?
No.
Oh, you remember the
We've hung
ballerina?
out twice, Zach, and you haven't told me.
You remember the ballerina?
Yeah, did she do it?
Yes. Well, yes, but it was because she thought that Kazuma, like she accidentally stumbled into Kazuma when she was trying to like hide because she wanted to get her cat back, and
And she stabbed
Kazuma,
him 40 times.
she assumed that he was like turning to go pull the cord to like bring somebody in. Excuse me. And so she pushed him, and it just so happened to make him stumble and smack his head on, or the back of his neck on the bedpost, which led to his death.
Oh.
When in actuality, what Kazuma was doing was he was going to open up the wardrobe and get Ryu's opinion on whether or not he should reveal her identity or whatever. But
Ooh.
pit, pit, pit.
It's like
It's unfortunate.
it's possibly the
Oh my
first
God.
completely. Oh my god, so dramatic.
What were you saying, Adrian?
I was gonna say it's possibly the first like completely unintentional, like no malice period death or murder in the series. I think.
It's the like, so from the 4 games that we've played so far, it's by far the most tragic death. Because it's just like man, this didn't need to happen. like
Yeah.
like you were all on the same side, just didn't realize it. Anyway, so it's just the three of
Well, we
us
could've been on
who
the same side.
it's just the 3 of us, so who's gonna do these voices?
Oh, we have a motley crew of jurors in this case, by the way, Grant. We're back in court, English court. Basically, to catch you up really quickly, we were thrown into this case to defend a really rich guy from a murder that seems very damning. And if we get him not guilty, we can be a lawyer. And if we don't, then we have to go back to Japan. and that's the stakes for us.
And that's
The murder itself.
That's a really good summary. But yeah,
The murder
so
itself.
the guy it's lifted directly from like a Sherlock Holmes, one of the Sherlock Holmes short stories, but it was a murder that happened in a stagecoach while it was moving with only 2 people in the cabin.
Right.
And there were 2 people on top of the cabin that were looking in through a window that claimed to have witnessed the event. So it seems pretty fucking airtight as to who murdered the guy.
Hence we mentioned they wheeled in the cabin earlier
Yeah.
into the
Oh,
courthouse.
okay. Like the whole ass thing.
The whole ass thing, and you
apparent-
got to look around. It was cool.
We also found out that in British court, apparently the jury determines guilt or innocence, and the judge determines the sentence. And the jury unanimously, before we really got a chance to get our bearings, declared guilty. And now we're kind of pulling out a bullshit. This is an archaic method that defense attorneys have, but no one uses anymore, as a last hurrah to try to save our ass.
All right.
Where we try to change their minds.
Where we try
So
to change their minds, but as ancient Maya explained, by simply trying to logically dispose of, the juror's idea, you'll just entrench their idea further. So what you have to do instead is pit their ideas against each other, and eventually one of them will realize that they're wrong. Because they can't because they can't disagree with each other, they have to be unanimous.
Oh, okay.
In classic Ace Attorney fashion, we're starting off and we're already on the back foot.
like we're on
Great.
6 back feet, even.
I mean, we're technically off the cliff. We're just kind of Looney Tunes running midair and not having realized.
we're like, wait. What about this bullshit from 50 years ago?
Exactly.
All right.
Anyway,
Those 2 statements are completely contradictory.
Oh my
this is our
god.
English judge, by the way.
Grant, I guess this is you, because Lawrence was doing it before, but Lawrence was giving him like a Santa Claus voice.
Santa Claus?
Yeah.
Like jolly ho ho ho.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
What? Explain, counsel post haste.
Oh, dearie me. I was only knitting a jumper for my other half.
Her husband.
husband.
But this?
Yeah,
That's
a
her
good point.
husband? He's tiny.
her husband is like a tiny person.
Who wants to do the sleazebag voice? I guess Adrian, since the other...
What's all this claptrap? What's this contradictory even mean, I ask you?
We've heard from
Borderlands
more
now.
than one witness that they allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. This is really good. The pacing back and
Also,
forth.
we have Cosmo.
Oh, you have the
he fucking
sword.
died. Yeah, he died. So
Yeah.
we have his spirit with him because he claimed that a sword was a Japanese man's spirit.
Holy shit. Rest in
The Grant
peace.
Ace Attorney with the 2 Grants there. Hey Grant, do you want to just make my thumbnails from now on?
Oh my god, Grant hasn't even seen our prosecutor.
Oh my god, he
haven't.
hasn't.
Who's the prosecutor?
You'll see. You're gonna love him.
Oh, he's so good.
Adrian was doing a really good voice for him too. Anyway,
Cool.
that allegedly saw the actual moment when the defendant stabbed the victim. Now, out of curiosity, juror number 3.
What? Can't you see I'm busy here?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim? What sort of motion was it?
A stabbing motion.
Want to test me, do ya? It was like this. Suck the fellow next to him without even getting up, like the prim banker said.
Yes, that was Mr. Fairplay's testimony. Quite true.
Now then,
Mr.
juror number
Fairplay.
6. Yeah, Mr. Fairplay, who looks like he could be played by Daniel Day-Lewis in the live-action remake.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's me, is it? What can I do for you, young man?
How would you say the defendant stabbed the victim, madam?
Oh, well, dear, as far as I understand it, it was like this! He stabbed a poor man after he'd collapsed on the floor. The coachman said so.
Now don't move! Both of you stay right there in your animation!
Don't fucking move.
Take a look at these 2 jurors. He stuck the fellow next to him without even getting up. And he stabbed the poor man after he collapsed on the floor.
Well, I never there. They're stabbing in totally different directions.
Bless my stitches! What a muddle!
He's just becoming Waluigi.
Ah.
What this tells us is that there's a strong possibility
Piss?
one of the witnesses isn't telling the truth.
Someone's pissing in this
Oh.
court.
Why? Why? Why the dickens would they lie?
But like one of these characters was Saba and the other one was Lawrence, and if I remember correctly, Lawrence was doing a really good voice for the guy. And I admit, not that you're doing a bad job, Adrian, but just I wish Lawrence was here because I want everybody to do the voices that we had
Lawrence's
like one
voice for
episode
this
ago.
Lawrence's voice was very good.
Yeah. I don't know that yet, but what I do know is that if the trial ends at this point, we may never find out. We may never know the real truth. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, can you really let that happen in all good conscience?
Lies, you say? Oh, dearie me. Innocent! I can't abide telling lies.
Oh, she changed her mind. Also,
Yeah.
this is how they that's how they prove that's how the jurors decide who's innocent or guilty. The scales have fire and they send fire up with casual pyromancy.
Casual,
Oh my goodness,
casual
this is because-
pyromancy is my softcore metal band.
Because apparently that's a thing, and apparently fire has mass, which it doesn't, Zach tells me.
It's true. It's
This
basic.
is
It's
a lot to
essentially a
digest.
plasma. Anyway, the scales. I don't know, Grant.
What was his voice before?
I don't remember. Saba was doing it.
I don't believe it.
I like this voice. It's very good. Oh my god. Grant hasn't even seen any of the witnesses. These are just the jurors. Word! I was doing Wilford Brimley with this. Now hear this, my fellow jurors. I warn you, you cannot listen to this lad. Look at him in his black suit. He's clearly some sort of devious Eastern sorcerer using magic on us all.
Oh man.
Who's
Grant.
the one on this? Who has pyromancy in this court?
Well, the pyromancy is temporary. It's bequeathed to them by the court.
Well, I see.
It's bequeathed to them.
If I could use magic, do you really think I'd be putting myself through all this?
Not to be this dark shit. Jesus Christ. Holy shit.
That was never mind. Anyway, me?
What exactly is the problem? What if the two witnesses have slightly different recollection of events?
What of it?
Let's say the Shylock did stab the victim who sat next to an omnibus. And this young dandy saw him do it. And now let's say the victim collapsed on the floor, and then the Shylock stabbed him again. And this old lady saw him do it. Well, what's to say it didn't happen like that, hmm?
I do have evidence that proves that it couldn't have happened like that.
Who you calling a dandy, sir? Why should take this knife to you?
Who are you calling old? Why I should take this needle to you?
They're ready to kill each other now. Oh, fix your armband.
The arm
could
enemy's
the-
lawyer, by the way.
But could the foreman of the jury be right? Did the two witnesses see two different moments of the same crime? So I'm going to recall that this specifically says that he was stabbed once.
Right.
Stabbed once in the abdomen. Yeah.
Grant.
Grand!
That's not it. We don't use that. That objection's too modern. We use old-timey fancy objections.
It's
now.
true.
I couldn't find that one.
Fair, but I will also say that the photo could potentially be, unless he stabbed in the exact same place, but it's weaker evidence if the game points there for some reason.
Unfortunately, Mr. Foreman,
I read it as forearm.
What is it, you dark jakes? That feels wrong. Come out with it, young man.
What you're suggesting is impossible. It's out of the question. I wouldn't believe it.
Lawrence.
What are you talking about, young man? How could you possibly say that?
Hello, Lawrence. Thank God you're here. We have...
You do realize that I'm only doing my job. As the foreman of this jury, I have a responsibility to steer everyone in the right direction.
Is that really what the foreman of the jury is supposed to do? Because I remember I was the foreman of the one time I had to serve on a jury, and I did nothing.
Yeah, I don't think that's right.
Maybe that's how they did in Great Britain. I don't know.
Okay, because I'm about to say, because like the idea of a single jury that's a jury member that's supposed to like steer everybody towards like a certain goal, that seems really counterproductive to what a jury's supposed to do.
True.
Oh,
So, where's your evidence, man? That's what we want to
He's
say.
checking.
I say the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime. Check, please. If you say that's out of the question, show me some proof.
Oh yeah, remember you're challenging the jurors to the
Yes.
choices.
Right, we had to give Grant a real quick rundown, so.
Yeah.
Ah, yes.
Because a lot happened.
a lot happened.
Oh,
I still thought we were on the boat.
oh, you fool.
You fool.
I know.
It looks like the only way I'm going to convince him is to present him with something he can't dismiss. You know, like evidence. As you wish.
Evidence like
What?
the autopsy report.
What?
I'm glad that Lawrence
Outdated.
remembers. I'll give you the proof. It's out of the question that the two witnesses saw two different moments of the same crime, as proven by the... Yes, thank
a
you.
single stab, I remember.
This is the victim's autopsy report. According to what's written here, Mr. Mason was stabbed in the abdomen only once.
Only once.
Diabetes.
Diabetes.
Big grunts.
It's quite simple. The victim was stabbed precisely one time. Which means these witnesses can't possibly have seen it happen at two different times. I guess this is Lawrence again.
Yeah. Oh man. All right, I concede defeat.
I think that's a different voice than before,
Where
but
does
that's okay.
Knight go?
I'll
Yeah!
find it. I'll find it
God.
eventually.
It's so weird. Ancient Maya.
I can't
Oh,
wait for
oh,
Ryan
yeah.
to see the new prosecutor.
I was gonna say I still haven't seen him yet.
Really?
No, he hasn't.
Nah.
He has no
Huh.
clue what he looks like or is.
Are we just leaving?
Oh yeah, so, because Adrian hates it when Lawrence takes over the female voice.
Yeah,
We managed to change two more girls' minds. They had forced the trial to continue.
Two more,
To just
actually.
continue?
yes, because we were about to have it conclude when they fucking sent some guilty immediately.
Man.
Adrian was not wrong when he said we were basically Wile E. Coyote, like off the cliff.
Yeah.
There's something else that's bothering me about a couple of their assertions.
Racism.
That's
True.
where you must strike next.
They keep calling me a dark jinx, and I don't like that.
That's really not cool.
Right, but who are you gonna like sue them with? The court?
Me, I'm an attorney.
Well, are you?
Yeah, according to this armband that I have.
According to the sword on my fucking hip.
According to this sword.
Yeah, I have the judicial blade that every lawyer has.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So I need to pit two more jurors against each other and show there's another contradiction in their assertions.
Exactly. You can do it.
Oh.
Lawrence, did you want
this is
to
still
take
me?
it back? If you want.
Oh, so you can have this. I was
Okay.
only playing temporary while you were not here on Saturday.
Grant is judge, Zach is pro tag.
I am
Whoa,
temporary, everyone.
Temporary one. Well, the scales of justice have shifted, but they're still weigh heavily on the side of guilt.
I don't know if you did that actually, but there was a little bit of a yes. There for a second. It was really good.
His eyes just drift to the side.
Yeah, like no to
Real
each side.
Yeah.
I will mention that this judge is immediately already proved more competent than the other judge because he was willing to go along with our thing because it was all technically legal.
Right.
Oh, wow.
Instead of it being like, oh, this is pish posh, whatever, get out of my court. He was like, well, it's not wrong.
Wow.
Which is nice.
That's a first.
Like the
Counselor on
fact
floor
the fact that he was
again.
showing any respect to a Japanese person is kind of surprising.
Yeah, now that we're in Great Britain. Continue with your summation examination.
I'm really surprised that they don't force us to stop. You know what I mean?
Stop. Guilty.
All right, I'm gonna press
Alright,
this
so-
guy.
Yeah.
Horseshoe mustache looking.
That's how much it costs to take the omnibus.
That's right. As Skillmaster, I decided to set a policy for all
It's a different voice.
It's
But I
a
do
different
love it.
voice, but it's still very good.
I forgot what I did.
You did
'Cause
like
I
a-
said like one word.
Yeah, it's fine. This is good.
This is fine.
What's fair, no matter which bus you take or how far you go is. We have to compete with the rise of motor car scene. Use Couch Coach Bravo make a stand. There. Sir, remove your mustache so we can hear you better.
Remove your
Covering
mustache.
your
What the
mouth.
Remove your mustache. He's
It's
just like,
covering
moves
your
aside.
mouth.
I'm sorry.
He's like, not a good idea. Anyways, as I was saying,
Anyways. Motor cars, you say?
fuck's a motor car.
I did murder on one of the buses and extremely damaging to our cars. Beyond the pale. I'm fucking shit-faced. It'll lead to a decline in passengers. You mark my words. And
You
it's
can
all
tell
that
he's
rascal's
shit
fault.
faced. Look at his eyes. Neither of them are focused on me.
Yeah, the pale. Where are you? I told you.
Is it the crime or his buses he's more worried about?
Anyway, I remember my guild is reliable and trustworthy. So, the driver says he saw him do it. That fellow in the dock is as guilty as sin. Guilty as sin.
Alright, please let me go back. No. I don't need a loop. Skip it. I don't care. Just leave me alone.
You fool.
Oh, what did she say?
Ryusuke saying, leave me alone in the middle of court as he's the defense attorney.
Leave me alone.
Leave me alone. Go away.
This is interesting. What is this?
Your Honor, my client feels like he's being accused of something here.
Let me give you a description of this gameplay mechanic.
Oh, it's just a tutorial on how it works. Okay.
Gameplay mechanic. What?
What are you talking about? I'm trying to solve a court case. No, listen to this gameplay mechanic.
What's a game? Anyway. It's kind of long. You want to listen to it?
I'll show you something kind of long. It's Cosmo Sword. Here, you can touch it.
Ooh.
Alright, juror number 3 versus juror number 6. Fight to the death.
We already did
Young
that.
man with a knife.
We already did that.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, did you make that joke already?
Well, no. Well, actually, the game kind of did.
Oh, alright.
Because they ended up insulting each other, and the game was like, "Ooh, it looks like they're about to stab each other." Anyway, so I think it's her versus the stagecoach guy, because she says it's 20 pence, but if there were 4 passengers at 4 pence each, that should only be 16, which means there should be a 5th.
Right.
Okay.
Logically.
God, this is so cool. This is such a good game. It's so much cooler. Those two statements clearly contradict each other.
Righto, explain yourself, counsel.
Me? Oh dear, what have I said?
That's what the real blade means. That's what I do. Talk about.
According to the group testimony we've heard so far, there were 4 passengers on the omnibus on the night in question. And according to the coachman, Mr. Beppo, he took 20 pence.
That is his name. It's really good.
Beppo, he took 20 pence in fares.
Beppo is one of the witnesses, obviously.
Who the hell wants her?
Well, I assume Saba took her.
Correct.
What a conundrum.
Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence.
Yeah, Lawrence, you do it. Because we say so.
Right. I have the precise details that neatly
It's the same voice.
Same fucking voice.
Yes.
No, fine, I'll do it.
And juror number 5 also told us the following. The fare for the omnibus is always 4 pence.
That is. It's a private. Just wait like this carriage should be operated.
But that doesn't add up at all. In fact, it leaves a glaring discrepancy in the facts.
Why, man? Why?
You think you think they pay me to do math?
They pay me to drink.
They pay me to drink. Four
They
passengers
drive me to
paying
drink.
4 passengers paying 4 pence each. If you do the multiplication, it would be 16 pence. Exactly.
There's
As
some of that magic that he's putting on us.
That Japanese
Multiplication.
Changing numbers together with those weird sigils.
Well, I know they're British, but someone in the audience is like, how did he do that? He took 2 numbers and turned into a completely different third number. That doesn't make any sense.
He put an X between them. Letters don't belong in math. I know that
Letters
much.
don't belong in math. Get out of here.
The witchcraft, I say. Witchcraft.
That's them Greek letters I done heard about. Don't belong in math.
Oh god.
I still watch the Game Night Highlights video every once in a while just to hear our argument about whether Greek letters are recognizable or not. Anyway. Exactly. As I said, it doesn't add up. The figures are different. By 4 pence, in fact. Or precisely 1 person's fare. Nice pose, dude.
Yeah.
One person's fair.
I mean, that pose is literally just a phoenix pose, but with a little spin on it.
Yeah.
A little schmazz.
Yes. In other words, on the omnibus that night, it's distinctly possible there was another passenger we've heard nothing about.
Good gracious.
His wig pops. You like that?
Yeah, I do.
This can't be right. The coach really knew a good, honest man. Why now? Trustworthiness is our watchword.
He's like, that can't be right. And he's like, yes, he's not going to exist for another several centuries.
The prophecy.
All right, here's my attempt. The coach made claims to certainly do not add up. Your watch
we
would
can't just have every voice be characters mumbling. We have Wilford Brimley and then the coach guy. We can't just do that.
Yeah, but it's a different,
like
kind,
a
it's a
real-
different kind of mumbling.
Real nasally, I'd
What did you say?
Mr. Guildmaster, I think you ought to consider that if this trial were to end now, the news will surely spread over all of London. The news that one of your coachmen tried to hide the fact he let nefarious characters ride his omnibus.
All right, then. How do I make it so miserable trial doesn't end, huh?
They're really appealing to them specifically and not any sorts of logic with this arguments, I'm noticing. Which is cool.
It's interesting that it's directly to, because aren't the jurors supposed to be impartial? It feels like the guy who
They're
owns the
definitely
coachman,
not.
yeah, the guy who
Yeah,
owns the
not.
coachman company should not be here.
Well, it's still a budding system.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's
Who knows?
You're right.
Who knows?
You're absolutely right. As
Well,
usual,
according to
but
my book here,
whatever.
you simply launch a ball of fire into the innocent side of the set of scales. Don't
Simply?
kill people.
Simply
How do you
pyromance.
simply launch a ball of fire?
Chant the spell. Fire, fire, go and blaze.
The nursery rhyme? Fire, fire, go in blaze. Fire, fire, go away.
Adrian.
Is that? Oh, I forgot this is the same guy.
Now hold your horses there, young man. We were all in agreement. Why do you have to go it? Well, there can only be one bubbler on this jury. Wait till I get my hands on you, Beppo. Get fucked.
Yeah, we're tied. Well, actually, wait. Wait.
Huh?
We started. Wait, that doesn't make any sense. It should be moving twice as far, right? Wait, no. Wait, yes. Oh god, I'm so confused because it took 6 fireballs for it to go from the center position to all the way to the left, right? But we only put 3 fireballs in. So shouldn't we be halfway in between up and left right now?
Well, that's because there was nothing on those scales yet when it was in the middle.
No, yeah,
And
you're
then-
right.
And then they put the fireballs
All
on
right,
black.
it's just confusing
Yeah.
because it's not the fire leaving one and going to the other. It's more fire
It's
being
new
added.
fire.
Because in theory, right now it's 6 weights versus 3 weights. So one side should now be heavier, not equal. Right?
Also, I think it might matter that it seems like they're not declaring innocent. They're just declaring, like, they're retracting a guilty, I guess, which wouldn't be as powerful as them going fully to innocent.
Do they not have the white banner behind them?
Yeah,
You have the
but
white banner.
You see what I
Oh.
mean, though, right? Where it's a little confusing.
I do. It's for sure confusing, but I don't think it's something we need. It seems fine. Whatever.
Begging your pardon, sir. I'm going to do the same.
Don't mind me.
See, now it's 4-2.
Oh, PogChamp.
We got this.
For the love of Mike, not you.
Who the fuck is Mike?
Not you as well.
Like
I
a
don't know who Mike is. And once again, so there you go. We just proved it's not just eliminating your guilty vote. Now we're actively putting weight on one side. So,
Well,
so
fuck
now
me,
it
I
should
guess.
technically be
Fire.
6 versus 4. Why
I
did they
don't
make
know,
it?
man.
Why did they make it fire? They should have just made it like a ball that like flips over from one to the other or something.
Because fire looks cooler, Zach.
Right? It doesn't make any sense. Anyway,
It doesn't need to. It's fire. Everyone knows that plasma has mass, Zach.
plasma does have mass.
Seriously.
A penny can be the difference between a smile and a tear, after all. I certainly can't put my trust in someone who doesn't follow my exact standards of financial matters.
Back when a penny
Oh.
actually meant a lot of money, relatively
True.
speaking.
Oh, brother.
I, for one, think it's time. I just realized I'm doing the delightful kids from down the lane. I, for one, think it's only proper that we hear from the witness again.
She looks like one of them, though.
Wait, that means 4 jurors are now leaning not guilty.
We've done it, Mr. Naruto. We've
So,
won.
We didn't. Well, okay, listen. We didn't win
we
yet.
small
Small
victories.
goal, small goal. Who
Small
the
goal.
fuck is that on the left?
Oh, he saw him for a second.
Don't worry about it. We'll see him later.
What are you blind at, you
Was that
damned
Crom?
fool?
Was that
Shut your
Crom?
trap, sir.
Is that beefy
No one
Crom?
deceives me.
But we had a consensus.
I said shut your trap. I don't lie when I see one.
There you go. This is the voice.
If the chap ever dares cross the threshold of my shop, I'll take this razor sharp blade and start licking it.
Yeah. Fuck.
Wait, his
what
shop.
shop
Is he a
is
hair?
that?
Is he a hairdresser?
I was gonna say, is he a barber? Is that? That's a
guess.
bad knife for hairdressing.
Right, but I think that might be the
I use it
joke.
myself.
That's hilarious. I love it. Please tell me he's a barber. Great.
He sells knife insurance.
Wow.
Knife insurance is a fucking excellent pun.
Knife insurance.
I stole it from Rhett and Link. I didn't make it myself.
Dang. And a quite remarkable turn of events.
Hello, Agent Maya.
Census. Oh, Saba.
In a remarkable event,
Oh.
the entire Oval Streamcast is here.
Everyone's here.
Everyone is here. Hello, Sab. Are you
The
okay?
jury is now stand.
Yeah, it's just been a really busy day. Huh.
Okay.
Sound
Are
windy
you
now.
good? You want to take a minute?
Allow me to breathe, and then I'll come back.
All right.
Okay.
Alrighty.
You can breathe once I open this airlock.
We are docking your pay while you breathe. While you breathe, we will dock your pay, though. Be wary.
Oh,
Dr.
no.
Pay.
My pay. God, well, I am late. Okay. Normally, my pay would be docked anyway.
You will only receive a fraction of $0.
You will receive a fraction of the
Damn.
obo bucks that you normally do.
The
Obo
elbow dollars
bucks.
that allow you to buy bubble gum from the
But I
shop.
like bubblegum.
Yeah.
Wait, would it be Obo tokens?
You guys might be going, oh, but if you guys actually paid attention to the Twitch stream at all and hovered over the channel point, it's already called Oba tokens.
Oh, he got us.
Well, shit.
She's one
Boom!
step ahead.
It's been like that for like 2 months. Anyway,
Accordingly, there is no longer a large enough majority among the jury for me to adjudicate, and the trial must continue.
stop licking
Oh my
that
god,
knife.
it's Beefy Crom.
He's not really beefy, but we'll see. Anyway,
I hereby ask the defense, prosecution, and witnesses to return to their places. And I call upon all of you to pursue the truth.
Okay, who did we convince that their argument's bad?
almost everyone.
the old, well, yeah. So 4 of the 6 of them, the old lady and the guy with the knife, both came to the understanding that one of the witnesses must be lying about when the guy was stabbed, and then the maid and the guy who ran the coach company, both realized like, oh, the amount of money that Mr. Beppo took in that night is too much for the number of passengers that were on the coach. So they both wanna question Beppo.
Okay.
Goddamn Beppo.
So, Lord
wait.
Van Zeeks, continue.
Wait. Oh, give me 1 second. I think I might have left the oven on.
Grant is gonna get cockblocked from seeing the prosecutor, whose name you now know.
Who's Grant gonna take over then? I hear he's already taken
judge.
the judge.
I'm the
Big
judge.
Ah,
We
so
haven't
you
seen
turned
the
into
witnesses
Santa, huh?
Yeah.
Look, he's even wearing
Exactly.
red.
Well, Santa
That's
was
true.
what I
Like
was trying to
Santa.
go with. But my voice is nowhere deep enough to hit those notes.
Ho ho ho! You just have to. It's the spirit. It's the spirit.
How? I am.
Wow, that is.
Oh, I am Santa. No. That's me, Santa.
Hoyo.
Man, that hurts
Oh.
my voice to
Then
get
he
that
just
high.
turned into Mickey Mouse.
Wow. It's never occurred to me that, like, naturally a woman with a higher voice probably a lot easier job doing the Mickey Mouse voice than I could ever do.
Yeah.
Well,
For sure.
That's never occurred to me.
Man.
who's your favorite on the jury?
Yeah, Grant, who's your favorite jury member? It's the one that you voiced because you gave him a fucking fantastic voice.
I stole your juror. I'm sorry, Saba.
Yeah,
Which
but
one?
I mean,
the
he's
the
coach
pretty
horseshoe.
funny.
The horseshoe. guy.
Horseshoe
Oh,
mustache
that's totally
guy.
fine. I was like, I want grandma. That's who I want.
All right. Hello, I'm back.
Oh,
Hello, how's
Was your
the
was it
oven
fire?
on? Was your
Uh,
house burned down?
May have been a small fire, but it's okay.
Wait,
Oh my
for real?
God.
No,
panting like there
obviously
was.
not.
Well, you
I
were
was like,
panting and
breathing
that was
heavily.
selling
Maybe
it,
you need a minute to
definitely.
breathe now.
But
I'm
Zach,
glad that
was
my
the
act-
fire,
I'm glad
was
that
the
my
fire
acting's getting
on
better.
guilty or not guilty?
Yeah.
True.
It was on you're bad at cooking.
Oh no.
So we are all the jury for Zach's maybe crime.
Guilty.
Crime of
Oh,
what?
Guilty.
Burning the
Being a
house.
streamer.
I did burn one of my knuckles when I was cooking earlier today, making the stuffed chicken like I was saying. And dude, I forgot just how much and how long burns hurt.
Oh yeah.
That's
Because
why
it's
you
like
gotta put that shit in water.
I don't have water. I live in a desert.
What?
There's no
water's
water.
already there. You can't
You're bragging
access it.
constantly about how nice your water is and how it's better than the water us peons drink from our tap.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's no water.
There's
And
no
it's better than
water.
and it's better than what you have, you fucking peasants.
Zach's like, oh, you must be talking about liquid gold that
Yeah.
flows from my sink.
Also, Grant,
Yes.
Oh my fucking god. I love him.
It's a great design, huh?
I might
am
not
in
be able to
love.
redo his voice, but I'll try.
What are you talking about? It was just Von Karma, but more cool and less monster. Oh!
No!
Maybe a little bit more monster.
Having savored the rich aroma of the carmine contents of this hollowed chalice, it may seem crass to crush it to dust. Pray forgive the discourtesy,
But then why
He's-
the hell did you do it?
He's real
Why'd
because
you break it?
he's fucking mad.
because he's pogging out of his mind.
What is a man?
Exactly, that's what I was going for.
It's cold. Is it cold in here, or is it just me?
As your antiquated tome no doubt says, the prosecution may not speak during a summation examination. That's why Grant didn't see me the whole time. So I honored a deathly silence and listened to the charade.
Look at his eyes.
It seems I overestimated the intelligence of the jury.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Well, no matter. Also, do you notice he has a fucking rapier in court?
You have a sword.
Yeah, everyone's got swords.
Like I said, the mandated legal sword.
Yeah.
There is nothing so hard to prove as a self-evident truth, it would seem. No. And why else would we grace the courtroom with our presence after all? Zoom in. So, let us proceed to the next round of battle, where we duel physically.
Oh!
Bring forth the witnesses once more.
Oh fuck!
She's so
I remember I was
beautiful.
doing Beppo.
What
Oh,
the
yeah.
fuck? Oh,
Can
I
you guess
love
which one of those is
them.
Beppo, by the way?
Yeah.
Beppo.
Oh.
Witnesses. I trust you heard the summation examination we have just had to endure.
Oh, yes, sir. That I did, sir.
I love Beppo.
This fair play.
I don't remember. It was somebody. I told somebody.
I was
I told
was
somebody
doing
to
Mr.
do
Satan.
do a stern voice, is what I said.
I was doing Mr. Satan basically, but like lower.
Mr. Satan.
Mr. Satan.
Of course, I heard it.
There
Like
you go.
that.
Oh, that is Mr. Satan.
Oh, yes, sir. I heard
Oh,
it.
the hat!
Oh, my hat.
Oh my
I
god.
forgot
that-
how anxiety-inducing this character is.
Oh,
Click away from him then. You, sir, on the end, a coachman. I believe it's Beppo.
That can't be his real name, by the way.
Yes, sir. My lord, sir.
You're a frost spirit. If it transpires that in your previous testimony, you were attempting to veil the presence of a fifth passenger on your omnibus, you will be found guilty of perjury. You are advised to bear that in mind, sir.
Oh,
They said the magic P word.
oh, mio dio. Oh,
Deal?
Oh, I love JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. It's my favorite Japanese export.
Now then,
wow.
That's so insulting to Araki's age.
now then, witnesses, I hereby call on you to testify before the court again. You will explain the various misgivings brought to our attention by the defense's summation examination.
This is a little weird that they're all just gonna talk at the same time.
They just all talk over each other.
Listen, they don't have the time to give these witnesses different pace, like different testimonies. British court's efficient.
I only carried 4 passengers that night, I swear. But
Well, I for one was told I had to pay 5 pence for the bus.
Well, 4 for
Oh.
5 is 20.
He felt that it's unfair, he did. And then I
Ugh.
saw that blood-curdling sign as well. It's all too much.
Don't say that word. Don't say fiddled.
Fiddle.
I tell you, I saw McGilden stabbing that man. Everything I said before stands.
Oh, yes, he stabbed him. Yes, he did. I think so, yes.
Hey, what is it called when like you force someone to pay more than what you're supposed to?
Extortion!
Illegal.
There you go. So he also
Rob.
but yes, extortion. Extorted them.
Well, actually, I guess that wouldn't be extortion. That would just be like, I don't even know. Actually, that's a good question. What's the legal term for when you overcharge for something but then pocket the difference?
Embezzlement?
Mm.
Maybe it's embezzlement, like skimming off the top a little bit, I guess.
The phantom fifth passenger conjured into existence by my Eastern friend never... What?
By my
A
learner.
learned Eastern friend.
My inflection was bad. The confusion has arisen from the coachman's sly little cousinage. Maybe that's how you pronounce that.
What? I have no idea what that is.
gonna
I'll look it up.
Explain yourself.
Apparent, it's cousinage and just means trickery. So
Oh, okay. Why is it
Got
called
faster
cousinage?
His eyes.
Cuz.
it comes from the English cousin, C-O-Z-E-N, to trick or deceive, and it comes from Latin cocio, dealer.
What the
Wow.
hell? That's so weird.
We learn words here.
I'm terribly sorry, Guildmaster.
The fair 4 pence across the board, then you know that.
But it was so cold.
My understanding, you've been overcharged our passengers by a penny of fare.
Give me 1 second.
Calzone? What are you insinuating about the nature and integrity of calzone, Zach?
You don't expect what's inside.
Calzone,
What do you-
calzones are inherently treacherous. Is it a pizza? Is it not? I don't know. I don't trust
It's not.
it.
It's just not.
It's
Well,
a
what if it
folded.
is?
It's a folded pizza. Why not just be a pizza?
It's a closed pizza.
So you can take it with you.
It's not even folded. It's
You
closed.
can take a
So you can
pizza
put
with
it in
you
your
in your
pocket.
stomach
No
when you eat it
barrier
like a
of entry.
human.
No, you
Okay.
can fit it in your pocket.
Pocket it.
Animal.
Please
no,
do not
all
put
of us have Animal
calzones
Crossing
in your.
buckets, Zach.
Do not put calzones in your pocket. It'll get very messy.
Better a calzone than a
Okay,
fucking
idiot.
entire pizza.
Is a
which
hot
wouldn't even
pocket a
fit.
calzone?
It's like a shitty calzone.
I could maybe.
It's a McCalzone.
Yeah.
A McCalzone. All right.
It's so cold. The last run of the day is always half empty.
I've been dishonest, coachman.
Sorry.
You'll be executed.
A disgrace, Beppo! A disgrace. Self-reaction is about dishonor on the entire guild.
If I may, sir. I had to pay 10 pence on the bus just last week.
Jesus.
What?
Oh, good lord.
4 passengers at 5 pence each is, yes, 20 pence. I've done the arithmetic 10 times already, but I just can't make the result come out differently.
That's not how math
That's called
works.
insanity.
Thank you for checking
That's called
many times.
insanity.
It's called being thorough, Zach.
No, that figures.
4
Yeah.
times 5 equals 20. Let me triple check that.
Well, it would appear that one of the aforementioned misgivings has already been explained. So, counsel for the defense, your cross-examination, if you please.
We've already had the pleasure of retracted summation examination today. I see you intend to continue the parlor games.
Dude, his eyes are fucking. Like, I have never seen a better example of, like, staring daggers at somebody. I am surprised that Ryu's scalp has not been removed from his skull with this guy's vision.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Absolutely.
Just don't call them parlor games. It's your cross-examination, damn it.
Ooh, cool cross examination.
True.
I only carried the thing. Okay.
I think it's the
We
same
carried
line.
the thing.
Bippo! I want to do this voice more. Talk. So, there were only 4 passengers on your carriage, but you didn't charge them the standard 4 pence fare. Is that right?
He still won't speak.
It's impossible to make the last run of the day pay. I
So
was
you-
so cold. It was all I could do to stop myself from passing out. What the fuck is that?
Blames?
I'm getting chilblains? Yeah, chilblains.
Chilblain, a painful itching swelling on the skin, typically a hand or foot, caused by poor circulation in the skin when exposed to cold.
I'm learning more
Goosebumps?
vocabulary than I did in high school.
Frostbite?
Yeah,
Let's go.
goosebumps?
It's skin sores or bumps. It's not quite goosebumps. They're supposed to be painful, which goosebumps aren't.
Oh my god, that's
Oh.
crazy.
It's like
So
swelling
Goosebumps on
too.
steroids.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
It swells
Oh,
red.
Goosebumps on steroids.
Yes.
It was terrible. Terrible. So I wanted to give myself a pat on the back for even keeping the bus running. Ooh.
You committed a crime.
Doesn't a dedicated coachman deserve an extra penny per passenger?
You're digging a deeper hole for yourself here. If only there had been a 5th passenger on the omnibus that night, then we would have another suspect. He might be, like, evil, but at least he's a decent
hasn't-
prosecutor. Like, he
was
hasn't done
gonna
anything
say-
shitty yet.
Not yet. He's just been mean. That's it.
He's lived for a long time, you know. When you have that much time, you,
When you have
develop
centuries of
develop
experience.
patience, yeah.
True.
Vampires have standards, okay?
Does that mean everyone on board that night paid 5 pence instead of 4? Who
Well, I
the...
paid 5 pence too.
I didn't ask
Sir.
you. Look at this guy's face.
I just told you that I
he's
did.
Wario.
He's not Wario. He's
But
not
look at that
Wario.
I
mustache.
have many
He's-
angles on my
He
face.
is way too angular. He's closer to
He's
Waluigi.
Waluigi.
Yeah, he's closer to Waluigi, but the
Oh,
mustache is
that's
very
true.
good.
The mustache is a W. Yeah.
A flat fare of 5 pence across the board.
It's not something to be proud of.
The so-called discrepancy my learned friend identified was nothing of the sort.
I'm glad he's calling me learned and not like savage.
Much like the phantom killer you so desperately needed, it's gone. Dead and buried. I'm not going to call you a black jinx, because that feels bad.
Yeah.
I'd
Listen,
have been
you're not a
happy
black
if
jinx.
it even existed in the
I've
first place.
seen a couple of black jinxes in my day, and you're not one of them. You're not a magical circle made of energy.
Oh my god. I'm many things, but I'm not racist.
So you saw the defendant, Mr. McGill, did, stabbing the victim, Mr. Mason, who was sitting next to him.
That's what I said, isn't it?
That's what I said! It was bothering me before, this was. For just a brief moment, he hesitated before answering the question.
Anyway, there was only 2 of them inside the carriage, wasn't there? There's been much talk of a 5th passenger, but as yet, 0 evidence. Then why are we wasting all this time for, eh? It's black and white. The man's guilty.
Are we defending Beppo?
No, are we defending Beppo? No,
We should be.
what are you talking about?
We haven't
I
seen.
wish.
Grant hasn't seen McGilded yet.
He is
He
not.
hasn't seen
McGilded
McGilded,
is-
which will be
McGilded is
fun.
interesting.
And then
Oh,
Saba
no.
can pull out
It's
her
not.
accent again.
Dude, it's
If
not
you
even
couldn't
good.
guess by the last name, he's kind of wealthy.
Yeah.
Something about Mr. Fairplay's testimony just jars with me. I wish I could work out what it was.
I wish I could work out and get stronger like Cosmo was.
Get buff as hell.
He stabbed him, yes he did. I think so. I mean, think. Earlier, you testified that you saw the moment when the defendant allegedly stabbed the victim, didn't you? Sorry, I'm just looking at fair play and just being like, dude, you can, like, relax.
So tense.
Like, it's okay, man. Like,
You gotta say something.
say something. I dare you. I'm right here, dude. Don't think you can
I'm
just...
not gonna destroy you with facts and logic.
You know what? Fair play. Anyway.
I'm gonna take off my top hat and reveal a smaller top hat on Earth.
Oh, yes, that's right.
You said that the victim was on the floor and described the assailant holding the knife in an ice pick grip.
Ooh, I suppose I might have, yes. Put the cart before the horse, baby.
What's this?
Beppo's lying again?
Beppo!
Beppo! well, I'm quite sure about most of it.
Everyone just starts anime screaming his name.
I was driving the horse and I heard a scream from the seats on the roof deck.
Oh, I expect that was me, sir.
Then when I turned around, yes, I saw through the skylight. The gentleman was on the floor and the knife was sticking up out of his midriff. That's right. Yes, the fellow holding the knife was the famous man? Yes.
He donated a fucking park to town, supposedly.
So if he's a guy that like extorts, or not even extorts, but like if he's like an old school loan shark, why did he donate a park to the town?
For appearances, to get public image, obviously.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. So in short, you didn't see the moment when the victim was actually stabbed at all.
It was working on the old lady for a while.
That's true.
I really thought I did, but when I go over it again in my head, no, I suppose I didn't actually see the precise. Oh, that's pretty fucking obvious. I suppose I didn't actually see the precise moment of the stabbing,
But is
did
he
I?
biting?
His cane.
That's his cane.
That's his cane.
That's a short cane.
It's a
cane.
that's a thigh length cane. You usually I've seen those before. Yeah.
It looks more like licorice.
It does.
Now it
He's
does, I
eating it
guess.
like a licorice.
Pursue. Excuse me.
Oh, classy.
Do you have something to say about that, Mr. Fairplay?
Now you listen to me. I know what you're thinking. He didn't really kill Sal. He didn't really see the exact moment the fellow was stabbed. What are the chances of that?
Are you asking me or telling me? He's getting flustered. I might be able to extract some new information from him if I answer him cleverly. Could he have just happened to see the exact moment the crime was committed? Answer
Some
cleverly.
days are like that.
Yeah, that's... Wait,
that's good.
Answer cleverly. And one of these is like kind of weird. Some days are like that, man, you know? Sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Some days are like that.
It'd be like that. It'd be
You
like
want to do that? You want to do
sometimes.
that one?
Oh, we buddy, huh? You'd be like, yeah.
Well,
Don't
because I
worry
think
about it.
this one's like in agreement, but not saying whether or not we think he's lying. We're just like, some days are like that, man.
They do be like that.
Well, I suppose some days are like that. Sooner or later, you'll see something you wish you hadn't. If you're always peeping through a skylight on the top of an omnibus.
Peeping?
Oh, peeping. I'm a respectable city banker, I'll have you know. I killed Sal, and I know what I saw. I remember
Shut
just clearly
up!
as Ballarat Day.
I killed Sal.
Ballarat Day? What the hell is that?
I don't know. Another thing I have so many Googles.
Yeah,
It was a
you want
grim
me to get
scene,
it?
I don't mind.
Google's gonna think I'm a fucking time traveler. Let's go to Britain. Saturday, August 21, 2020. Oh my god, Valorant Day's tomorrow.
What?
My goodness.
Cool. I don't know what it is yet, but cool.
We're gonna be celebrating Valorant Day. I don't know what it is.
On stream, yeah. Valorant Day in
Watch it be
Valorant
like something
VIC
horrible.
Australia.
Yeah, wouldn't that be really funny if Ballarat Day was like the day we celebrated the first sale of a black man, and it's like, oh, it's like
We're
we're
I
waiting.
don't have anything yet. Oh,
Okay.
well, all I can find is that Ballarat is a city that was the scene of an armed rebellion known as Eureka Stockade, which 25 miners demanding political reform about the abolition of licenses were shot down by the military. The instant is, and then some more stuff that's hard to summarize, and I haven't read yet.
All right.
So,
So
there
it's
was
like a
rebellion
so it's like a
involving
regional
miners.
holiday.
It's a town first and foremost, but I can't find anything for Ballarat Day.
That's so strange.
Uh-oh. Excuse me if I was getting a little hard on the call there, my lord.
I would ask that you supplement your testimony with a clear statement of what exactly you saw.
It's a plant.
Sure. Oh, I can do that all right. Just like I killed Boo as well. Except when I didn't. I can tell you just how grim it was.
God damn it. Oh,
Do you think that's
fuck.
okay?
Saba, if the jumping into Shonen series takes off, that means I'm gonna have to watch fucking Dragon Ball.
Okay, well, I haven't watched that. It depends. Whoever else, you would have to make sure someone on
I
our
don't
group
want to
has
do
watched
that,
it,
though.
which I'm pretty sure someone has.
Watch Naruto, all of
I
it.
told him that already, Grit. And I was like, you and me can like talk to him about it afterwards.
Let's go.
I think this might be contradictory already, a little bit.
Do
Maybe,
you think I'd
because-
forget the sight of those blood-soaked hands after the butcher stabbed the man? Well, how would he have
Butcher.
blood-soaked hands? He had gloves
Butcher?
on.
Well, I was gonna
Is he-
say,
is
and
he-
even then, the gloves don't have that much blood on them. It's like a little spot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The glove didn't fit.
If the glove doesn't fit, you must acquit. The Chewbacca defense.
Exactly.
I don't know. You want to just do this? You want to just present it, balls to the wall? Let's go.
I mean, I'm leaving it. I'm just hinting that that might be the thing, maybe, but I don't have a guide, so that's just my intuition.
Because it's
And
not
there's
really.
only one glove.
I was like, it's one glove, and he says blood-soaked hands, and these are gloves. I don't know, man.
and there's not
he
a lot
said
of blood.
hands as well, which means two. Unless we're talking about like pants, which is
Plural.
like just technically one thing.
Well,
but
because
don't
I
think
like
it's the
I
case.
don't know. My suspicion is that I can't. I'm so fucking upset that even while paused, I can see the guy with his stupid hat. It's so
Never
annoying.
escape this slipping hat.
All right, I'm just gonna present this. Fuck it. Oh, the music cut out. Blood-soaked hands?
Well, I admit that soaked might be laying on a little thick, but anyway, there was definitely blood all over him. Both of them were covered in it.
Ah!
Look at this pose.
Oh god, it's so cool.
This is a power stance.
Man, Phoenix needs to get a sword so we can pose like this too.
True.
Well, I'm very sorry. I'm very sorry to disagree, Mr. Fairplay, but that's more than a little peculiar.
What? I killed someone.
I killed so.
I killed someone. I did it. It was me.
Oh yeah. So I don't remember. Like, I'm pretty sure it was just me and Adrian the other day, but we were talking about like cases that were like good or bad, and we talked a little bit about case 5 in game 1. And I remembered it being like pretty okay. Like I was like, oh, it was kind of long, but it wasn't that bad. And Adrian was like, really? Nothing fucking happened in that case. And I was like, oh yeah, no. What about the guy, the head of the police department, constantly saying like, I'm not evil? Wasn't that funny? And then Adrian was like, that was my joke, Zach. That wasn't in the game. But it's so quintessential to my memory of that case that I remember text showing up being like, I'm not evil. It's like,
Zach's own brain is gaslighting himself.
because like the stuff about him being like a thunder god and stuff like that, or like, hey, do you want to go swimming in the pool? Like those, I remember that being a joke. But remember, I'm not evil, because that's just funny. Like, I love
He's
the
not evil.
I love the idea
Not
of a
evil.
guy just showing up and being like, "Hey, I'm not evil." Anyway, here are the gloves worn by the defendant, Mr. McGilded, on the night in question.
Oh, yes, right.
And there certainly does appear to be a sizable dark-colored stain here, but I'm sure you can clearly see it's only on the right-hand glove. My teeth! In
What's
short-
your best chainsaw impression?
In short, Mr. Fairplay, your testimony is inconsistent.
Yarg! No, I can't be right. I killed Boo! And Sal.
So you're the liar here.
Oh!
That's right. You were quite clear about it. You said it was both hands.
No, it was more like.
Mr. Fairplay, if your last statement was a lie, it calls your entire testimony into question. Unless, in the future, you're an old lady and you outright lie to the court, but yet we still keep the rest of your testimony! Anyway, you say you saw the moment the victim was stabbed, but is that really the truth? Wait, so if he also didn't see the moment that the victim was stabbed, that means no one saw it, because Beppo even already admitted that he didn't.
Right.
Wow, that's so crazy.
It's almost like we have a way out. Oh, never mind.
No!
It was a simple mistake. You can't justify accusing this man. What the fuck? Yes, it wasn't both hands. It was only one. But the fact remains. The victim's blood was on the accused.
No. Mr. Fairplay categorically stated that he saw blood all over both hands, which means there's a strong possibility that this witness was deliberately trying to mislead the court. Please provide evidence to explain why he would want to do this, and I totally can.
Why? I'm a city banker for the sake. My word should be the gold standard. I'm a gentleman, not some gutter snap. I'm standing by my side and don't prevaricate.
He's claiming to have no reason to lie.
idea.
But is that really the case?
I feel like I'm back in AP English.
Like I said, we're learning more from this game than we have throughout high school.
Prevaricate, speak or act in an evasive way. Okay, cool.
But all of these words are antiquated. No one uses them.
That's the point, because we're in antiquated England.
That's true.
Mid 16th century, apparently, is where it's from.
Ancient Maya, what happened to your jaw? Anyway.
If we had some evidence to explain why Mr. Fairplay might be lying, it could turn the tide in this trial completely.
Something to show this man has a compelling reason to lie in his testimony.
Zach has the evidence.
I do, and I remember, despite it being a week ago.
We have the beef.
My lord, I have the beef.
Yes, counsel.
Here's the beef.
You got the sauce?
The defense is ready to present evidence.
Call me Wendy, counsel, because I have the beef.
By Jove! Are you sure?
Wait, is that Wendy's or Arby's?
Arby's, I think. But
Well,
I got
Arby's
shit.
is we have the meat, but where's the beef was a Wendy's commercial.
God damn it, these fucking burger. Never mind.
Yeah, man.
Whatever,
Yes.
joke failed. The end.
Evidence will clearly demonstrate why Mr. Fairplay had reason to lie in his testimony.
My joke, no!
Very well. I hereby call on the defense to present its evidence. Evidence that demonstrates a motive for the witness's alleged deception of the court. Wow.
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 I do really like the fact that this game allows you to, the minute it's entered into evidence, like right after the next dialogue, enter court record, immediately inspect the shit out of the evidence, like pulling it apart for little tidbits of information, being like, ooh, what's in this book? This is the list of debtors who owe money to Mr. McGilded.
Yes, a list of innocent victims crippled by the accused extortion.
The point is, among the names of the debtors in here is your name, Bruce Fairplay.
Kilso.
What? His name's Bruce. Mr. Fairplay, are you currently indebted financially to the accused?
No. Well, it's we call it a debt.
According to this ledger, you owe 20 guineas, not an inconsiderable sum of money, wouldn't you say?
A fifth of which we were going to earn from this case.
Well, a fifth? No, wasn't it?
Or sorry, no.
Yeah, it was 1,000.
Oh,
guineas.
I thought it was 100. My bad. I just
because that was the thing, was that when Mr. McGilded didn't know who we were, and he was like, "Hey, I just need someone to stand up there, so that way I'm not like instantly, whatever." He was like, "Yeah, I'll give you 1,000 if you do it."
I thought it was 100, but that sounds more correct.
Well, what of it? That's not a reason, but yeah.
Let's suppose Mr. McGilded were to be found guilty of murder. What would become of your debt in that case?
These documents state that the loan agreement is forged between two individual parties. Therefore, were the creditor, the defendant here, to be sentenced to a capital punishment, all outstanding debts which were owed to him would be annulled. They would cease to exist.
Oh man, if only we could do that to Sally Mae. Sally Mae murdered somebody. Give me 1 second.
1 second. 2
All right.
seconds.
Gave him the 1 second.
All right. My dad's asking if I want to go to Asheville tomorrow, which is like an hour drive away, to do something quote unquote touristy. And I'm like, you gotta be more descriptive than that. I want to spend time with my dad, but I definitely don't want to just walk around a town for
You gotta
4
sell it to me.
hours.
You gotta make it worth
But
my
the town's
time.
historic, Zach. It's got history of people.
I don't really
It's
care
had
about the
history.
history of North Carolina. There's a lot of history here that I don't particularly care to learn.
Fair point.
I wonder what that could be.
Cease to exist?
Mr. Fairplay, is it not the case that you claimed in your testimony to have seen something you never in fact saw in a devious attempt to annul your debt of 20 guineas to the defendant?
I need him to eat through his cane. I need that to happen. Where's that?
Order! Mr. Bruce Fairplay.
Yes, my lord.
Let me ask you again. And be aware that your answer may have most serious implications upon your future, sir. Did you, or did you not, see the precise moment in time at which the defendant is alleged to have thrust a knife into the victim?
Your silence speaks volumes. You did not tell the truth in your testimony.
All right, now let's start making melodrama out of this. I can tell. Perhaps you did overstate the truth, bitch.
A pinch.
But it makes no difference. I definitely never seen blood up Miss McGill's hands, both of them.
Objection.
What if he was like all four of them?
All four of them. And yet, only one of the defendant's gloves, which we have here as evidence, is stained.
So you keep saying.
I wonder if I might be allowed to speak, sir.
Only if I don't have to
All of
look at
them
you.
lied?
Oh, you have to look at me. It's only polite. I'll look at you too. Don't worry.
Go ahead, Mr. First.
Well, the thing is, I think I remember seeing it myself as it happens.
I hate this hat as well.
Seeing what? What?
Blood, sir, on the assailant's hands. I think, yes. I'm almost sure that it was on both his hands, not just one.
What? What? I mean, why do we even like? I don't know. You want? We have evidence that says you're wrong, so go fuck yourself. All three of your witnesses are bull crap.
It would appear that we're going to need further testimony from all you witnesses. This time, I would like to know precisely what you did and what you did not see.
Why are any of them still here?
We don't have any other
They've all
witnesses.
lied on the stand.
We
Let's
all
take them
know-
out back, boys.
Well,
Wait, has Shy Guy lied yet?
Top Hat hasn't lied yet, but we have another testimony.
Also, Grant, I hope you notice how much more competent this judge is.
Yeah. Do I make myself perfectly clear?
Yarr,
Mr. Naruto, this is good news. The course of the trial seems to have shifted slightly at last.
Slightly. I might finally have a chance to turn things around here. Let's go. All right.
Let's go.
Witness testimony again.
When his dick in your face.
There was blood on both hands of the assailant. I sincerely and distinctly remember that. However, I suppose I might say I did see the exact moment the stab transpired, if that matters. But I did kill Sal.
I remember seeing the knife. I remember seeing the knife, and I remember seeing both of the attackers' hands with blood on them.
I didn't actually see anything myself. No, not until I heard that scream.
I'm actually blind in both eyes.
Anyway, fact remains, there can't have been anyone else inside the carriage, or I would have seen.
I hear by echolocation, which is why I only saw when he screamed.
It's why I'm the only cab that drives at night.
Oh!
There can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we all would have seen. Not true. We know that.
Well, lo and behold. In truth of fact, not one of you was witness to the crucial moment the crime was perpetrated.
I apologize, my lord, but honestly, there's no one outside the carriage, and the man's hands were covered in blood. Yeah, that was hurting evidence to testify to say the man who saw it.
That's really not what testimony is about.
Let us examine the interior of the omnibus once more. Victim's fresh blood is clearly visible on the seat, corroborating the witness's accounts where he sharded.
Where he sharded up blood.
In other words, there is no substantial nor significant change in the facts of this case.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, counsel.
Yes, my lord. Now, unfortunately, the last piece of evidence that I want to look at, like, listen. So, welcome to the carriage.
Open the door.
It's Phoenix Wright Omnibus. Extremely subtle reference, by the way. Look at how subtle this reference is.
What? Oh, we can go in. Or maybe not.
We can.
He just flinches every time he does. He's not used to the sight of blood.
Oh shit, I just clicked off the screen. Here we go. Yeah. So, there could have been somebody in here, but I don't know if we added that into evidence yet. I'm just wondering what I should do, because like the statement that I saw that was interesting was Mr. Fairplay's final statement, but if I press it, it's just gonna loop, which is annoying.
See, the thing is, we haven't proved that someone can fit in there. You know what this means? You
Wait,
need to shove yourself
it's a
in there.
compartment.
Just shove yourself in there. That way, you can definitely
body
prove that
inside.
someone can fit in there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Without a shadow of a doubt.
The thing is that it has a bunch of crap in there. That stuff had to have been removed before I could fit in there.
I mean, I could fit in there right now,
Okay.
and I'm like a hefty guy.
You'd have to remove stuff. It's crowded with crap.
Right, but if I wanted to murder somebody, I can curl up pretty good.
I doubt that.
You
could
don't
even
need
fit
the
in there.
whole space.
You need a lot more longitudinal space. I don't think it's possible.
Now you're just channeling the spirit of your prosecutor.
Wow.
Anyway, the fact remains, can't have been anyone else inside that carriage, or we else would have seen. Hold it! I mean, and then not only that, but there's also a latch on the roof, which we haven't brought up yet. There's a latch that allows you to go through the skylight into the cabin, so that's a thing. And everything you saw of the incident was through the skylight of the roof of the omnibus.
That's right. It was fierce cold that night, but the glass wasn't frosted over.
Oh yes, I remember. I was shivering. It was so bitter.
Which rather begs the question of why the pair of you were sitting on the roof deck in the first place.
And you want to know what my suspicion is, Grant? I think
What's
that
that?
Mr. First is actually Mrs. First, and they're hiding a romance.
Oh.
That's what I think, because all of their shit doesn't fit. And also the phrase "ladies first" came to mind.
Well, this young fellow, but I couldn't enter the cabin.
Oh, also, Zach also said that because he's staring away from.
Yeah, he's constantly looking away from Mr. First too, which is a good point. Thank you for reminding me. Oh, why not?
My height makes it too tall. It was locked from the inside. I tried knocking, but no one opened the door.
It was locked? The locked room mystery as well?
That's right, and it's a public bus service for pity's sake. That's not what I call fair play, and I would know. It's my last name.
Yes, I had exactly the same experience. I tried knocking, but the jet inside just gestured at me to clear off. So I had no choice but to climb up the roof deck and look down longingly into the warm cabin below.
Why would the cabin be
What?
warm?
Well, I can assure you, not just looking down, I was glaring long and hard with my laser beams that I used to kill Cell. And that's precisely what I can tell you with absolute confidence.
Smoke and mirrors.
I like the idea of that's the one thing in this guy's life that he's ever done that's like worth a damn, but it's also incredible because he fucking killed Cell. It's like,
there's anyone else at all in the
like
cabin,
Grant,
I would've noticed.
Grant, did I send you that Tumblr post that was somebody did like an artistic rendition of Edward Elric with Tony Hawk syndrome?
Yeah.
where everybody kind of knows him, but like, why are you still around? which is really sad.
Poor Tony Hawk, honestly.
Are you Tony Hawk? Yeah. Why?
Why?
Like, it almost feels like Tony Hawk is like paying some sort of celestial retribution for being talented. You know what I mean? Like the universe is like, all right, fucko, here you go. This is like the latter half of his genie wish. You know what I mean? This is the bad part of the genie wish, where he was like, I want to be a world famous skateboarder. And it's like, all right, but only for a while.
What a weird monkey's paw curling finger thing to add to such a wish. It's such a weird punishment.
You will be rich, famous, and extremely well respected within the field of skateboarding, but your time will come and go. You won't experience hardship, but you will experience the existential terror of people forgetting who the fuck you are. And it's like, oh.
Well, it's like, I feel like everyone knows Tony Hawk, just no one recognizes him.
No, but that's the thing. That's like kind of the point, is that everybody knows the mythical figure of Tony Hawk, but when he walks up to you on the street, you're like, is that Tony Hawk?
When he walks up, most people are like, who the fuck is that guy? I don't care.
Like, my favorite one is definitely the one where Tony Hawk like arrived at an airport and he went to go pick up his car that he rented ahead of time, and the person looks up from the desk and goes, oh, I thought it was a joke.
There was that one where he had like a he had like a big event or something, and they found out that he wasn't allowed in, and he called them, and they were like, "Oh, we canceled because we thought it was a joke too."
Right? Do you see what I mean?
Hawk.
You see what I mean? It must be he must have found a genie at some point. That's the only explanation.
I will say that he does seem to have a good sense of humor about it, which I'm glad. I'm glad he's not miserable. He just seems to think it's funny too.
It's so absurd, right? Anyway. Yeah, okay.
Unequivocal, I would say.
I'm not sure about these two witnesses.
I'm not sure about these vocabulary words.
Could they really have seen everything inside the cabin through the skylight?
Not everything.
Depending on where
Yeah,
they're sitting.
there's the other seat, right? Because it only shows from the one angle.
Correct.
I do need to double check to make sure. Nope.
Open it up. Damn it.
No, we can do it from the top.
Open it up. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We just look up a little bit. Yeah, so here you go. So they were sitting here and you could only see those one seats. So Lawrence is correct. Good. Everything might not have been able to. Allow me to confirm one thing, Mr. Fairplay. You are a big dirty doo-doo liar. Yes?
No, but I can't tell.
You were
With the dynamite
riding
kick.
you were riding this omnibus and witnessed the events in the cabin through the skylight in the floor on the upper deck. Is that right?
That's right, yes.
In that case, there is a portion of the cabin's interior that would have been out of sight from you.
What?
By golly, really?
Obviously, at this stage, we can't say for sure, but the possibility cannot be denied that at the time of the incident, there could have been another passenger in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus.
That's a good objection.
Enough hypothetical meandering, my Nipponese friend.
He has to, like, remind himself to be cordial.
The prosecution demands that you substantiate your claims. After all, the scene of the crime is here, in the flesh. The wooden flesh.
I forgot he was wearing glasses, and I thought, like, I like, if you look at it without focusing, I thought his eyes were crazy cross-eyed. Like he was a fucking, like he was a pug.
Very well, I will uphold the prosecution's demand. You will identify the area of this cross-sectional plan of the omnibus.
I would be more than happy to, Judge. Excuse me, though. Did you draw this? It's very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The guildmaster's like, no. Plans law priorities.
Sure. Yeah.
Hopefully that worked. Hopefully I didn't have to say the seat. Both rows of seats on the roof face in the direction of travel, whereas the seats enclosed in the cabin face each other. Which means I like this same dude. The visible part of the cabin, which passengers on the roof can see through the skylight, is what I've drawn here.
Extremely accurate British person. All of them have top hats and canes.
True.
True.
That's right, my lord. As you can see, the seat opposite the one which the victim and his attacker were sitting is obscured from view. In other words, if somebody had been sitting on that seat, it's quite possible that the witnesses would have been completely unaware of it.
Oh, I just remember this is fucking case 3. Wow.
Yeah.
Case 2 was pretty quick, to be fair.
Case 1 was not.
Case 1 was definitely not, but case 2 only took like a weekend and some change, right?
It's quite possible some phantom was sitting there. You Nipponese have a forbidding habit of obscuring the truth with ambiguity. What with your Nipponese ninja robes, I guess. I don't know.
With your smoke bombs and your
Jesus.
And your shadow clone jutsus.
I concur with the prosecution's rejoinder. In a British court of law, evidence is paramount.
A reply, especially a sharp or witty one. Great.
Okay.
Oh, actually, dated law. A defendant's answer to the plaintiff's reply or replication.
Oh, that seems useless, or like not necessary. You could just say reply.
Yeah, but we gotta be fancy.
Conjecture.
Well, that only makes sense, Adrian. So we need to make another word for when the defense replies to that. And then you go forever making new words.
Flumderingbog or something.
Yes, counsel, you're flumderingbog.
Flumderingbog. When anyone in court does anything.
Oh no.
Stop it! Stop it right now! And everybody's just, what? And he's like, you're all breathing!
All of you are flumderingboging right now. Stop it! It's like,
How is this conjecture? This makes sense.
That is, unless you're able to put a name to this mysterious passenger to whom you allude.
What the fuck?
What?
Who is it?
Why would I have to do that? Wait, no, this doesn't make any sense. Because it's like, that's not what I'm saying here. What I'm saying is that it's entirely possible that these two witnesses who might not have seen a person sitting there. Why the fuck do I have to be like, oh yeah, it's this person? That doesn't make any sense.
But can you?
I honestly don't know. Who could it have been? Who could have been in the other seat, which was out of sight from the witnesses on the roof of the deck?
Oh,
Dude, I have no fucking idea who that could be.
What the fuck? Who?
Oh, yeah, here you go.
These people.
This is Magnus McGilded.
Wait, who's the guy to the left of him?
This is Male Strongheart, the villain of the game, I probably guess.
He's also Lord Chief Justice.
Lord Chief Justice of the British court system.
He lives in a fucking clock tower, by the way.
Big
That's
Ben.
badass.
presumably.
clock tower.
Based.
Thrice
Oh, that's the guy who died.
War victim.
Beppo. Dude, I don't know. I have no idea. So I guess unless there's like details that we're forgetting, I might back out of this and just
Ancient
say that
Maya.
I don't know. Yeah, ancient Maya. Because the other, like, who else would it have been? Unless both of these guys are lying to each other and that they weren't both sitting up top. But then wouldn't Beppo be in on it too? Wouldn't it be fucked if all three of these people were in on this murder just so that way they could get out of debt?
Damn.
I don't know. I'm gonna say no idea, I guess.
It was Sherlock Sholmes.
I have literally no idea.
But as a proud citizen of the Japanese Empire, you will look to the sky and walk on, making sure all signs of tears are gone. I always have to question myself whether that's
like a
tears
national?
or tears.
Is that like a national anthem thing or something? Oh,
I don't know, dude.
Go on.
this isn't just a case of go on, Miss Susato. What the fuck did you just say?
Flips you in
Oh, wait, never mind. That was literally what it was. All right then. I'll go on. The defense would like to put forward an What?
Ooh,
Well,
you bet the
Who did this be?
I guess this means that there is an inkling of who it is.
you are a fool.
The foolish.
That defense was a desperate attempt by a man who has no notion of his own limitations, nor what is a man. A toast to hard lessons not yet learned. Just throws the glass around.
Let us not delay, counsel. The defense is still to name the passenger in the other seat.
This could be it. This could be the chance I've been waiting to turn this whole trial in my favor.
What?
On that night, On the night of the murder, the person occupying the seat in the omnibus that was obscured from view was...
Technically, couldn't it have been Beppo?
It could have been Magnus McGilded, actually. Because if you recall, when they talked about like what they looked like, the person was not Magnus, because Magnus is a tiny human.
And they showed like a figure wearing like all black, whereas McGilded is clearly...
Yeah, he didn't have McGilded's like classic like scarf around his shoulders or anything. So I mean, I could just say Magnus McGilded, I guess.
I think that's true, but also I think that showing that in the diagram is like, I don't know, that seems kind of metagamey, where it's like that's the thing a player knows, whereas the guy would not. Where like, oh, we're describing this memory, we'll give you visual aid for the player, and the lawyer doesn't see the visual aid because it's for the player, but this memory shows someone who's not Magnus McGilded.
So are you saying that makes this weaker or stronger?
I'm saying it makes it weaker, but also it's the only lead we have that I can think of, so...
Because, like, what else would it be? It can't be Beppo. He was fucking driving. Like, it can't be him.
It must be Beppo. It's his clone.
It could be...
Honestly, it does look like Bruce Fairplay in terms of the pictures, if I'm remembering.
Well, I don't disagree, but I'm thinking it may... Yeah, Lady first. I don't know. It might be this person, because we still haven't brought up the idea of the overhead window having a latch to it.
I do still think that it's McGilded.
Well, what's the worst thing that could happen, right? Like, we'll present McGilded, and if it's wrong, then we'll do Lady first.
That's what it can happen. We'll fail, Zach.
I know, but we already have, like, case 2, we already went down by, like, 3 health at some point, so who cares, right?
Take that! We have health for a reason. Use it or
Oh,
lose
music
it.
cut
Also,
out.
I was gonna say, I thought I remembered McGilded saying that he was in the other seat at some point.
Oh, did he? I might have forgotten that.
It's a vague memory.
I guess we're just confirming that even if he was there, it doesn't mean anything because they didn't see him.
Yeah, about to say.
Anyway.
They couldn't identify him on site, although it was blood on his gloves, I guess. But anyway, the passenger in the enclosed cabin that the witnesses on the roof deck failed to see has to have been Mr. Magnus McGilded.
Rib?
Mr. McGilded!
The McRib's back.
What the fuck are you talking about, counsel? Are you fucking high?
The McRib doesn't come back till the holiday. That's the name of the defendant.
Beppo could really use anything to help with the he interacted with the background. That's sick.
If I desecrate this chamber by smashing my hollowed chalice, do forgive the discourtesy.
Look at his face.
You have like so many hallowed chalices, though.
He has at least 17 cups per case.
That one was the goblet of fire.
Lord Van Zeeks.
I'm gonna run out of famous magical cups very quickly. People talk of these tiny island nations in the Far East as having a learning and culture of their own, but I see they use terms ill-advisedly.
What are you trying to say?
You're dumb as shit because you're Jap. Let me explain in terms that even a student of an artless backbar such as yourself might understand.
Are you sure you can?
Is racist.
Are
he
you
keeps jumping back and forth between not being racist and being racist.
I think because I think he, under most circumstances, tries to be cordial on all circumstances. But we're beating him now. Like, we're starting to unravel his plan. So now he's getting pissed and just relying on racism. It's like
his secret weapon, racism.
I really want him later on to be like, are you sure you could have seen the evidence with your fucking squinty?
Oh, no.
Anyway,
we have bigger eyes than he does.
Right, but fuck you. No.
I'm about to get really racist.
This isn't even my final four. Boom! His jacket explodes off and he's covered in swastikas.
Oh no.
No.
Those haven't even been corrupted yet.
These mean peace and tranquility.
This is the image that we were discussing.
Oh
about.
yeah, there you go.
That's clearly Mr. Fairplay.
Wait, actually,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that
what I
might
was
be fair
saying.
play.
Yeah. Based off the outfit. Yeah.
Right. But again, this is kind of meta
I-
knowledge.
Well, because fair play wears a tie, not a bow tie. But I don't know. It's weird because like in real life, people could just change their clothes, but in Ace Attorney they usually don't.
They have costumes, Zach. When the bloody scene unfolded, the victim and his assailant were sitting side by side.
Hands clasped in their lap because they ain't gay.
Because they were praying to God about how not gay they were. Multiple witnesses have attested to the fact. It's the very premise on which the case is built, the one that I built with my bare hands.
But that premise may be wrong.
What? How?
If the victim really was sitting beside Mr. McGilded, it creates an inconsistency that can't be reconciled in any way.
What inconsistency, counsel?
I would lose. The defendant's gloves, my lord. How?
We're about to find out. Give me a sec.
No, because I wanna,
Yeah.
I wanna see if I can figure it out beforehand. But it's just like you could
He's gonna
definitely
tell us.
reach across yourself to stab him.
Oh, can you?
Both witnesses made the same testimony. They claim that there was blood on both hands of the person sitting next to the victim. Good point. Good point.
Yet we know the truth to be otherwise. Only one glove bears the gory remains.
Cool. Why the fuck are we still listening to these guys then, huh? Van Zykes? Do you want to have your cake and eat it too?
Yeah.
We
Bitch.
don't have any other witnesses.
The point
ran out.
is, even in the face of this irrefutable evidence, both witnesses have maintained their stance.
Yes, their testimony remains unchanged.
Exactly. They both adamantly swear that they're up to no good. That they clearly remember seeing blood on both hands of the assailant. In short, Mr. McGilded. But also, their memory of events is correct, and their testimony reveals the truth. It was somebody else sitting in beside the victim that night, a third party we have yet to identify. And the victim's blood was on the passenger's hands, both of them.
And who was this third party?
You. Obviously, the true culprit.
It can't be me. I wouldn't get blood on my hands. I have a rapier for that.
Extraordinary. Order, order, order. What exactly are you postulating?
I like Grant putting a little stank on it.
The defense's postulation is just that. Nothing more than conjecture.
Nothing more than logical gyration.
The witnesses have clearly stated that they saw the accused.
But when elaborating on his testimony, Mr. Fairplay said the two of them were wearing hats, and I couldn't make out their faces.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kills off.
See, that's not fair play. Well, maybe. It's pretty fair play. Never mind.
Maybe it is the other guy. Maybe it's like the reason why he's not looking at him isn't because like she's like he's actually a girl or whatever. But maybe he's like it's like a tell that like he'll look super like guilty if he actually stares at him.
But that's so. But you get what I mean, right? Where it seems weird. Where like, why would ladies first? Why would Mr. First like lie then? I guess, right? I don't know. It's very
the
strange.
cause, yeah, maybe. Oh my gosh, he is looking right now.
Look at you better remember our fucking story that we came up with.
Yes, that's right. Both gents were most certainly hatted. I made the hats. Hatters do tend to notice such things, sir.
And what particular styles of hat did the two gentlemen sport, Mr. First?
Well, definitely not a hat like
Are
mine.
you actually a hatter?
I'm afraid I don't remember.
Because he's not actually a hatter. Look at his shitty ass hat. You think this person makes hats for a living?
What if he
Yeah,
just
I
makes
think-
really shitty hats for not living because he's starving?
We're not living.
And also, look,
If you're a hatter,
different
it'll be in your
buttons.
blood.
It's
You'll
not
know.
fair play. Different buttons.
I mean, again, it's like it's a thing that we don't actually know. That's not a real photo, so
And you
it's not
call
actually
yourself
proof.
a hatter.
The style of hat makes no difference. There was no third passenger in that cabin.
It does! Characters in the Ace Attorney universe put on one pair of clothes when they turn like 13 and never change ever!
Not true. Ever heard of Athena? No, wait, wrong character. Fuck. What's the detective like? Never mind.
I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. I'm sorry,
From
guys.
1-5, the detective girl.
Oh, yeah, the one where her sister commits murder.
She has like 4 outfits.
That's true.
That is true. That
Maggie
is
Bird?
true.
Not Maggie Bird.
Not Maggie Bird.
No,
She's a
not
police
Maggie Bird.
officer.
Yeah, she's the one
you're
who
right.
murdered her
Shit.
boyfriend.
Who was it then? What's her name?
I don't fucking care.
That's so great. Spectacular. How can you be
Just
sure?
don't care.
Because if there had been, the accused, Mr. McGilded, would undoubtedly have offered to depose the fact.
True, but he was asleep.
Unless that is, you're proposing an even more preposterous explanation. That the accused failed to notice the presence of the true culprit in the very cabin in which he traveled.
Yes.
Which he did, because he was asleep.
He's right. If there was another person traveling in the enclosed cabin of the omnibus, it's inconceivable that Mr. McGilded would have been unaware of it.
Unless... Yeah.
Order!
Order!
There is clearly a simple solution to this problem.
Bring the accused, Mr. McGilded, to the stand.
Well, what say you, counsel?
The prosecution objects, my lord.
Why
I
would you?
don't want him
Why
to
would you
win.
object?
Because I don't want him to win.
On what grounds?
As a suspect, he will already have made a full statement to the police.
But what if there's some reason why he's unable to speak freely? This is Britain.
Magnus McGilded is no uneducated ruffian. He's an educated ruffian. If it indeed turns out the man has been withholding information, you can be sure it will have been a most deliberate act.
Now you're making conjecture.
Indeed. Counsel for the defense, what is your opinion?
I think Von Zykes can shove it. Bring him in.
Sustained.
I've been dueling with this rapier for 17 aeons. Care to go, sword boy?
Aeons? That's more than 1,000 years.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my god. That's like
I
longer.
remember when.
That's
I
longer than
remember-
human civilization, Adrian. That doesn't make any sense. He'd be like a Neanderthal.
I remember back when man had discovered fire, that blasted tool.
He's fucking Vandal Savage.
Hello?
I don't know.
What just happened?
I don't know.
I was fucking fighting a sneeze, and then Lawrence said what's happening, and I went to go say give me a second, and instead I sneezed.
I thought Gren
Perfect
knocked out with
timing.
his small joke.
Oh, I was trying not to sneeze. I'm
wow, you really
dying
got him,
here,
Grams.
dude. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
I'm like weirdly clammy. I feel gross. I think that ham stuffed chicken that I had is not agreeing with me. It wasn't very
Had
good.
too much ham.
Well, it was
Ham
definitely a large.
chicken?
It was definitely a large slice of ham that I think I probably should have cut in half before making it. But It was really hard to bake the chicken because originally the recipe said like, oh, keep it in there for 25 minutes, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Let me check it in 22, because instead of doing it on a like regular baking pan, I put it in like in a deep baking pan because that was like easier to clean. So I put it in there. I checked back in 22 minutes later, and the internal temperature of the whole fucking thing was only like 96. And I'm like, how? It's been sitting for 22 minutes in a 400-degree oven. Like, how is that even remotely possible? And so I was like, okay, I'll leave it in for another 5. Come back 5 minutes later, and it was like 107. I was like, what are you talking about? So that was
someone call the Steel Samurai because we need to get salmonella in here.
Oh! It eventually did cook all the way through, but God, it took forever.
I gotta go.
Bye-bye, Grant.
Everyone.
Bye-bye.
I'll see you tomorrow.
The defense for what was the name of the holiday?
Oh, fucking Ballarat Day.
Ballarat Day. The defense would like to call Mr. McGilded to the stand. I guess Lawrence.
Yeah, so in that case, I would like to hear the opinion of the jury.
Yes, I need a little time to consider this. I'm fucking drenched over here.
If you ask me, I think we should hear what Mr. McGilded has to say. Oh, he's still trying to get his knife out.
My knife is stuck. Get the man out of here, I say. And get this knife out, too.
I would be utterly illogical not to hear his testimony.
Close enough. Same difference.
Close enough. Oh gosh.
Who is
When
this?
somebody needs doing, get it done. That's how I run.
All right.
That was definitely not the voice you were doing, but that's okay.
I forgot that Sama was doing that before Grant.
Tried close enough for Southern again.
Hearing what the patron of my favorite little park has to say, oh yes, that would be lovely.
Yes, the jury says the man must be heard.
Very well. The court will hear the defendant's testimony.
Who's Kurt?
Bailiff, show the defendant at the stand at once.
Kermit, what?
Kurt? Oh!
Well, I don't really know what I have to do with this, but yay! Anyway.
the juror is like, I knew this was a good idea. I love watching him do his little dance, the Muppet dance. Big Muppet fan.
Let proceedings be resumed. Mr. McGilded, have you been listening to the discourse of the day?
Saba doing this guy?
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
To be sure, I have, my lord.
This is good.
It's not going to be good, but whatever.
There are now
That's
two
good.
matters on which the court desires to hear from you. The first is whether or not there was a third party with you in the omnibus cabin as proposed by the defense. The second is that if such a person was indeed present, why did you conceal the fact from the police?
Big God, no! 'Tis not in my nature to hide anything at all.
Just answer the questions, please.
The truth
I
of
like
the
how
matter
Grant
is,
left literally like a minute before he got to see McGilded.
Oh, right, he did.
I've been desperate about this all along. Do I tell yous all or keep me mouth shut?
Tell us what, Mr. McGilded.
The fine fellow representing me is absolutely right. In the carriage on the night with myself and the other man, there was another passenger.
It's true.
Now I'm really suspicious of this.
And 'twas me who helped the little urchin get away after it all happened.
What?
You what?
What are you doing, man?
I mean, technically, he's not guilty of murder.
He's an accomplice.
No. Magnus McGilded. That convenient excuse can't save you now.
I'm truly sorry, so I am Lord Van Zykes. I'm sure you'll be wanting to know why I said nothing when I was taken in by the police.
I do be having a very good reason, I assure you.
Which was?
Well, the little child was just in the wrong place at the wrong time and not in any way involved, you see.
Child?
What?
That does not look like a kid. If the police had known the wee little one, they'd have assumed she'd done it. They'd have hauled her into this here courtroom just like myself. I was only trying to spare her that. So female?
Wait, is it gonna be the Swan Lady again?
Are easily damaged, my lord.
Oh my god,
Oh my
what if it's the Swan Lady again?
She's back. And who was this young child of whom you speak?
That I don't know.
Good to know.
Aye, well, the wee ting just happened to be in the carriage that night. I never saw her before or since.
I can hear the cogs turning in Zach's head.
Or the sneezing that's happening in Zach's nose.
Or the sneezing that's sweltering.
Oh,
One
I
or
was
the other.
muted.
Oh, great.
I was wondering why you guys kept interrupting me, and I was like, wow, this is a really powerful move from you guys.
we gave you a taste of your own
Do that
medicine.
more, yeah.
But yeah, so I'm thinking, and I'm like, okay, either Mr. McGilded is making this up on the spot because he sees an opportunity to like get himself out of trouble, or what he's telling is the truth, and Beppo lied twice by not only saying that he saw the stabbing, but also lying that he charged everybody 5 pence for the ride instead of 4.
Or what if it was like a
What if-
stowaway, like
I
they
was gonna
drove
say,
off and like
Because a
the other
kid could fit
person
in there, because that's small enough.
Well, there you go.
Certainly.
Yeah,
An
there you
adult
go.
probably couldn't fit there, but a kid could. What if a kid heard it stop and then came out and just like, what the fuck is this?
Well, I guess the assumption is that the kid is the murderer at the moment.
I doubt that a kid would murder someone in Ace Attorney game.
Or,
That's only happened
yet.
kind of once with someone being put in the coma. That's not murder, Zach.
I mean, sure, but the thing is that like if the third person in the cabin is this little girl and they didn't murder the guy, that means it's McGilded and we just wasted our fucking time. So
Bot time, because any time that you have is already like a victory, considering we almost got him guilty immediately.
that's true.
Objection!
We have absolutely no reason to believe this man.
I'm just thinking of Adrian being like, I could hear the gears turning in Zach's head as I was talking. So I was like, well, yes, that's what I'm explaining anyway. And then Lawrence was like, but maybe he's sneezing instead. Ha 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 ha. And I was like, oh my god.
Guys! Only I can do that!
I don't mean to do it. It's just instinct, man. Anyway, yeah, that's really funny.
So I guess we need to, power move more often and interrupt Zach.
Make him
that's
think
what
that
we
he's
do.
always muted.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Make me double check OBS.
The prosecution calls for the witness's statements to be disregarded by the court.
I wouldn't be surprised if the urchin isn't here in this courtroom as we speak, listening to the proceedings.
What? Oh!
What?
Flashbang!
Oh,
Smoke! Oh my god!
Try to get away! It's no use. I can see anything on the smoke.
Fire!
What's going
and it's not
on?
on the scales!
Careful, Mr. Naruto, cover your face.
There's fire that's not on the scales! That's illegal!
Bailiff, don't let the accused escape. Secure the omnibus.
Oh my god.
fell.
Or hereby call an emergency recess. Yeah, you can say that again. Bailiff, ensure the defendant is in custody and clear the courtroom.
How many
Holy
bailiffs are
shit!
there?
Oh my god!
there are 8,000 of us! Wait, no, sorry, I forgot.
No,
there
Mickey
are,
Mouse.
there are 8,000 of us!
No, it was the fucking Cockney British, like, what's all this then?
Oh, right. Well, in that case, there's only 2 of us.
The numbers kept shrinking as they kept changing forms. Well, now we know the conversion rate. It's 8,000 Kerms to 2 British bodies.
So but it's not 4,000 to 1. It's 8,000 to 2. That's
Right.
how. We were hurriedly moved and spoke for the chaos. People stumbled over one another in desperate attempt to flee the chamber. We had no idea what was happening. All we knew was that for the time being, at least, the trial was suspended. Man, that's bonkers.
Wow.
To be
Nuts.
continued, if Grant had only
Absolutely
waited a
nuts.
little bit longer, he could have gotten to this point. To be continued.
Shame.
Life
What a
happens.
shame.
Ooh.
Insane.
Insane in the membrane.
Correct.
So I had my first breakfast smoothie this morning.
Oh,
What
yeah,
did you
what was
make
that?
with it? How many eggs were in it?
None. It was a banana,
Nice.
I think it was a half cup of frozen pineapple, a half cup of
Nice.
frozen mango, a cup of coconut water, and then like some ice.
What makes
Um,
this a breakfast smoothie
I
versus just
had
a
it
regular
for
smoothie?
breakfast.
I was gonna say it's when you have it that makes it a breakfast smoothie.
The
I
cookbook
see.
that I got specifically recommended it as a breakfast thing because it replenishes electrolytes and gives you long-lasting carbs as opposed to short-term carbs like pasta. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. And so I was like, you know, for a bit I was like, oh, this is like pretty good. And then it was like I described it to my dad as the taste slowly started like it was like the kindly grandmother in like the fairy tale where at first it's like, oh hello, come in, it's all warm and nice in here, everybody's gonna have a good time, and then I'm drinking, I'm like, yay, and then suddenly like my stomach starts hurting and I'm like, oh, that doesn't feel good, and then I noticed that like all of my gums are sore because of the fucking pineapple acid, and then I'm like, oh, there's still like 3/4 of this left.
Wow, the pineapple 3/4.
And then the grandma takes off her mask and reveals like she's been the wolf the whole time.
It was a pretty decently large breakfast smoothie, all things considered. But yeah, I don't know.
How much of it did you get down?
Oh, I ended up having the whole thing, but
Oh.
yeah. What on earth just happened in there?
Little do you know, Adrian, the pineapple ate him back, and now you're currently talking to a pineapple.
That's why I don't have a face cam.
It's
Hello?
me, the inanimate pineapple.
Mr. Naruto.
I said inanimate pineapple.
The one that was just talking to you, yes.
I've managed to find out what happened.
Oh, thank you. Did Zach mute again or something?
Yeah, I wonder why. Ah,
Oh, that's
Pineapple.
what's happening. Pineapple parentheses inanimate.
Miss Susato.
I was told it was an advanced form of smoke grenade, a type of exploding device that releases smoke.
A smoke grenade? It sounds like the sort of thing ninjas use.
They're just making sure everything is safe now. I think the trial will start again before long.
But who would have done something like that?
The police managed to catch someone who was trying to flee the courtroom, apparently.
Leave the courtroom? Why?
Well, it's a young girl of around 15, I hear.
It's like ancient Cape Faraday. A young girl? Then could it be the other passenger that McGilded was just talking about?
The one who he
My thoughts
suspected of
exactly.
being in the courtroom?
So he wasn't lying.
Interesting.
Oh, what's become of Mr. McGilded, actually? There are so
He
many
escaped.
things I need to ask him about, but he's not here.
I think he was summoned to the prosecutor's
Oh, no.
antechamber to answer
No.
questions.
Don't go in there alone.
Yeah, I'm about to say, wait a minute, he's supposed to have his lawyer with him.
Make sure you're wearing a metal neck brace.
Along with the young girl.
So they caught the.
Oh, along with the young
They
girl.
did catch the girl, yeah. Who is she, I wonder? And what was she even doing here at the trial?
It's just straight up Maya.
She was taking he was taking a huge risk, and for what possible benefit to herself?
There's another matter that's troubling me.
What's
Christ.
The 20 pence.
that? Huh? Oh,
According to the coachman, Mr. Beppo,
Mr. Who?
Beppo,
Well, you have to say it like a silly old man.
Mr. Beppo,
Mr. Beppo.
Mr. Beppo.
Mr. Beppo.
He took 4 passengers the night at a fare of 5 pence each. That comes to a total of 20 pence exactly,
But now it seems that there were in fact 5 passengers.
which means the figures don't seem to add up again.
Basic
Unless one of them
math.
was a stowaway.
She's right. That is strange. I don't really know if a 15-year-old is that much... Is a 15-year-old really that much smaller than, like, a person?
15-year-old girl, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Counsel for the defense, kindly proceed to the courtroom.
God, I love bobbies.
The trial will recommence in 5 minutes. Yeah. Oh, thank you, officer. We'll go straight away. Well, you better
He was
hurry it up.
making sure. He said
Well-
yeah to make sure to himself.
Yeah.
Oh, 5 minutes. Yeah. Yeah. That
What are
was
you
one
doing
Bobby to
over
the other
there?
Bobby.
Why are you talking to him?
Whoever she is, I imagine this young girl will be asked to take the stand
I
and testify
literally
now.
just told you to get into the courtroom and now you're talking. What are you doing?
Well, what's all this
I
then?
really can't imagine what she's going to say, but it could alter the whole direction of the trial.
Well, what's all this then?
Do you
We'll
hear
know
some
soon
noise?
enough, Mr. Sato.
Okay. Yes.
It's just reminded me of my favorite Pokemon evolution. The fan
What,
Pokemon
the
evolution.
fan made, well, what's all this then?
Yeah, I was about to put it here.
Well,
this.
what's all this then? Pretty good. What the fuck?
Ooh.
There's a young girl next to Mr. McGilded, look. She must have been the one who caused the disturbance before. Oh, this music. Oh,
Yeah.
I listened to this on repeat the other day, just like,
Yeah.
I wasn't doing anything else. I was just listening to this. It's so
And
good.
you grew like 5 inches of chest hair.
I'm like, yes.
Well, after the rather eventful recess, the court will now resume the music and the trial.
I will resume the
Gotham.
music.
More events,
begin again.
more verdicts.
My lord.
I believe we have established the cause of the smoke, which veiled proceedings earlier.
It seems to have been an advanced form of smoke grenade, of the sort typically employed by the army.
Good gracious, the army! What in the devil's name?
It was an elaborate attempt by a young girl to cloak her escape from the public gallery, but she was caught. And now occupies the stand.
I can only imagine who's gonna be voicing her.
Your name, girl.
Adrian.
Yep.
I was gonna be like,
Adrian, we can't hear you.
what? Hello?
There you go.
Yeah, now you're back.
Oh, I don't know what happened there. I didn't do anything.
You moved 5 inches away. That's what you did.
It was a chest hair. It pushed me back from my mic.
Oh my god.
Man.
Alright.
It's possible for a smoke grenade which induced such pandemonium here in my courtroom. What is the meaning of this deplorable behavior?
Ahem. If I may, my lord.
If I may, my lord.
My lord.
Yes, Mr. McGilded.
I think perhaps I ought to explain here why it is that this wee lass was here in the first place and why she tried to bolt like that. 'Tis all tied up with the events of that night, so it is. It is.
My favorite. Anyway.
Very well, Mr. McGilded, give your testimony. You will explain to the court exactly how this young woman is involved in your case.
Just what did happen that night? It's not like a defense lawyer needs that information or anything.
True.
you know, to just fucking tell me.
On the night in question, I took the back seat in the omnibus and promptly nodded off. Then, big girl,
Begora. It's like an Irish saying that I'm familiar with
Oh.
vaguely. Oh, Begora.
Begora! A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. There was a fella collapsed on the floor at my feet, so I sat him up on the seat across from me. Then I turned to find out where that scream had come from. And bless my soul, what did I find?
Apparently, it's a euphemism for "by God" in Irish.
Oh,
well,
Begora.
Oh, Begora.
There was a child in there all curled up in a ball, hiding her wee self away.
Mm.
I remain somewhat baffled, I confess, but from what I gather, on the night in question, this young girl was indeed riding an omnibus. Is that correct?
'Tis exactly as the defense counsel said. This lass was the 5th passenger, my lord.
Okay.
She
Very well.
finally speaks and she's like, "Fuck you, you copper! I'm not gonna listen to anything you say." She's just gonna be like really obstinate.
Oh no.
She's like
Very well.
she has like an unintelligible accent, so it's like the lady from the first case where her dialogue is just like gibberish. It's like
But first, we're now cross-examining the witnesses. Are you ready, counsel?
yeah, by the way. Or rather, no. I have no idea where to start. Once again, I love this
She's
animation
so
of him just
confused.
absentmindedly staring at the screen.
There's so many cuts to Von Dykes where it just doesn't say anything.
And I think that's in character.
It is, but it makes it hard for me to gauge when I need to turn it on.
On the night in question, I looked at the back. I took the back
Yeah, he
seat of
took.
the omnibus. Then
Okay.
Begora. A loud thud and a wee scream woke me up with a fair start. A loud thud?
Her hitting her head on the
Well,
thing.
I was assuming it was the corpse hitting the floor of the cabin, I guess.
Yeah, because that's the thing,
maybe.
is that his next statement is that he picked the guy up off the floor, right? A loud
Right.
thud, you say? And a scream?
Aye, that's right. How can I explain it? 'Twas like the sound of someone falling to the ground, that sort of noise.
Right.
So you think it was the sound of Mr. Mason falling to the floor, having been stabbed?
Wait, but he wasn't found on the floor. He was oh no, he picked him up. Never mind.
Well,
Yeah,
now,
right.
you'll remember I was asleep at the time, so it wouldn't like to say. And when the sound woke me up and I opened my eyes, there wasn't a soul to be seen in the carriage, but the fella on the floor.
That's what Rita stays thinking. He's just like, my entire permanency in Britain is in question here, and I better take it seriously. But what if I had a grilled cheese? I hear they have cheese here in England. It's pretty good.
Oh.
I hear the cheese is quite better than where we're from.
And if I
True,
add,
I don't
if
think
I add a little
Japan
bit of tuna,
manufactures cheese.
if I add a little bit of tuna to it, it becomes a melt instead. Oh, oh.
Do you have a panini press, Zach?
No, I use a pan.
Oh. Pissant.
Uh,
How dare you not have a panini press, much like how I don't have a panini press either.
but at the same moment, you did hear a scream.
Ah, from the seats above you on the roof deck, I presume.
Not above me, no, my lord. 'Twas from inside the cabin. But I wasn't altogether thinking about the scream. No, I was too stunned by the desperate sight before me eyes.
So I set him up. Why would you do this? Well, I guess
Why
because
would
he
you
didn't
touch
know that he
this?
was stabbed yet. You sat him up? The victim, you mean?
That I did. On the seat across from me, as I said, I could plainly see the poor devil was already gone. And you wouldn't leave a dead man just lying on the floor now, would you?
'Tis common courtesy, so it is. What's this pose? Oh.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Ah, Lord Van Zykes. Now, what would that be?
What are you, horny? I don't understand.
Howdy, howdy.
I find that hard.
Clearly, you don't own a panini press.
You wake to find a man lying dead at your feet in a carriage. Any normal person would hail the cabman.
I suddenly
Any-
thought Adrian was starting like a side tangent story or something. Wake up to find a dead
Any
man.
normal person would own a panini press and make a panini out of any upstanding member of
panini
London
out of the
society,
guy?
that is.
Oh no.
The blood tastes better when it's pressed with hot pressure and iron.
Well, now, as you know, I'm in something of a special line of business.
The business of lending money at exorbitant rates of interest.
Unfortunately, my lord, not everyone is thankful for the help I offer them, and some would even see me dead. So I do try, where at all possible, to avoid getting yourself in a tangle with trouble.
Really felt that.
Are you suggesting you were just going to leave the man there?
Heavens alive, no! I was always intending to report it, so I was. Only I had mind to find out whys and wherefores first. Where's for?
Whys and
Wherefores.
wherefores?
Where's
Yes.
for?
There's no
Likewise and
F's,
wheres.
it's just wherefore. Wherefore.
It's a colloquialism.
You're right. It's not like I was in Ireland a couple days. Anyway,
It's fine.
There
Probably,
were some
maybe.
details I wanted to understand before anyone else got to meddling.
Might be made up to sound more Irish.
I told you it wasn't realistic. That wee scream I heard, for example. I'm not actually Irish. I'm just speaking this way because I find it funny. Wouldn't your good self do just the same?
Yes, the scream he says he heard at the same time as the thud of the victim collapsing. What did you find? It was the next statement. There's a child in there.
Hold it!
You say she was hiding herself.
Aye, that's right. 'Twas hard to see in the dim lamplight, but she was all curled up in a wee ball. When our eyes met, well, me heart nearly stopped beating in my chest.
Ugh. You're really overreacting to this.
Still and all, I pulled her out from under there and sat her up in the seat opposite so I could have a wee chin wag with her. So maybe he died before, like, the people on top saw?
Maybe. It's very confusing. This reeks of Ace Attorney nonsense, where it's like, actually, the murder happened 3 times. And it's like, what are you talking about? The seat opposite?
That's right, just next to the dead gentleman there.
You sat this young girl next to a corpse, sir.
Well, as I'm sure I mentioned, a gentleman in my position can all too often find himself in mortal danger.
Where's this going?
I needed to find out just who this urchin was, you see.
That's what the guy, the victim, was saying when he was on the carriage. Where is this going? It's also strange because you recall that. I don't know. Never mind. I don't know. I'm exasperated. This is so complex.
And while I was in the middle of talking with her, I heard another scream, a fella's voice this time.
Presumably that scream was Mr. First, who was sitting on the roof deck seats.
Right you are, I would say, sir. Looking down through the skylight. He must have seen this young girl and a gentleman with a knife in his belly.
Yeah? You think so?
In other words, the previous witnesses did not, in fact, see you at all, Mr. McGilded. What they believed to be yourself and the victim was, in fact, this girl and the late Mr. Mason.
I mean, I could see like she's roughly the closer size than anyone else we've seen so far to him.
I guess, yeah.
Perhaps.
Aye, my lord. I was, as I think everyone understands now, sat at the back of the carriage out of sight.
It was described that the person seen was like small, so that makes sense.
It was certainly plausible. The departed is somewhat diminutive in stature, and brutally confused, perhaps.
You want to try
with
that
his
again,
young
you know?
love.
I'll fucking hit you right in the gob!
Oh, dudes, bailiff, get her.
I'll smack a sense out of your head, I will.
After that, of course, with a scream from the gentleman over us, the driver realized something was wrong and pulled up the horses. I do wonder how you must be feeling, Mr. Naruto.
Being the defendant's lawyer and yet finding myself as stunned as everyone else at his testimony. Let's just say it's, trying.
Yeah, because we're trying him, man.
We certainly had precious little time to talk to Mr. McGilded before the trial. But we mustn't be dispirited. We must try to learn all the facts we can.
When we arrived in London this morning, I didn't see my day panning out like this.
Mr. Naruto, no grumbling, even in your head.
Get out of my mind!
Get
How
out
did
of
you
my
know?
mind, Snake!
My mind palace.
Get out of the bathroom of my mind!
So he said if we scream, was it the girls scream?
That's what he was implying, yeah. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but...
Well, then there were two different screams. The
Right,
little
but
girl
in
and
theory, the scream from inside the cabin was not heard by the driver. Or anyone else, for that matter, I guess.
I guess.
Was it like muffled,
Wait,
I guess? I don't know.
So I sat him up in the seat across from me.
Does that mean he wasn't there? In
I
the
feel like we
place?
need to press more here, but I don't know
Yeah.
which one to press.
I was gonna say, what haven't we pressed yet?
I've only pressed two statements. The last one and the second one, I think. When I heard to find out where the scream had come from, blah, blah, so what did I find?
This seems like if we press everything, then the girl will finally speak up.
Well, maybe we can ask, where did you find this person?
I don't understand. Sure, you told the court that there was no one else in the carriage except for yourself and the victim.
Are we answering my question? So I did, sir, so I did. As far as I could see, that is.
What do you mean by that?
Well, now, 'tis a queer thing, the wee scream I heard as I woke up. It came from, if you'll excuse the vulgar expression, under me backside.
And then that tracks.
Yeah.
Like I said, muffled. There you go.
Good gracious.
Under your backside?
And when I lifted the seat on which I'd been sitting, I found there was a wee cubbyhole there for storage.
Yep, we
Mr.
know about
Naruto.
that.
We can examine the omnibus ourselves, remember? Not that we haven't done it, 50 million times already.
Yep, the whole
We
bus
have to
was
assume
submitted
the-
and-
We have to assume the player does the minimal amount of looking at the evidence possible.
And that's when I found her.
Which is the opposite of what I feel like every single person that plays this game does.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we can check the omnibus and, have it, have the
but
information.
what do you think now it's gonna be like? It's gonna actually put it into evidence instead of just being like, oh, that's neat. This thing that's really fucking obvious as to whether or not it's relevant. All right.
How would she have been able to see, though?
I have no idea.
Now there's nothing in there.
What the hell?
Now
What happened to all the
there's nothing in
stuff?
there. Yeah.
Wait,
The stuff is gone.
Was this-
wait,
was this-
does it have a
distraction?
fucking trick bottom? that allows you to
Was
swap out the stuff?
Was a smoke bomb her trying to distract so she could steal the stuff?
But
Oh, there's
the
blood on the
stuff
floor.
wasn't anything important.
It was like
it?
horse stuff, yeah. We never actually saw this before.
Huh.
Oh. Wait! Is that because this is new? But why
I
would there
think
be
so,
blood?
Yeah. Ah, so many developments.
Why do I have such a bad feeling about this? Oh, okay. Well, thank goodness the game heavily suggested that we check this out again, because this is very different than it was last time. Let's go to the roof. Let's go to the roof. Let's check out the latch. Let's see if the latch is busted.
What if like all the wallpaper is changed, all the poster is changed, the wood is changed, like the seating is changed?
It's a
everything
different
is just...
dude. Could you imagine if this was a different coach?
Wait, check the back, because it's still
check the
safe
back.
and it's right.
That's what the smoke bomb was.
Oh, okay, it is.
Dude, what if it said? What if it said? What if it said Gregory Edgeworth Omnibus?
That would be hilarious. But I think it was 418 last time, right? That seems right.
Maybe.
I don't fucking remember. Man, this is insane.
Dude, that would actually be fucking cool if the point of the smoke bomb was to swap out the coach. This like giant piece of theoretically immovable evidence. Oh, that'd be so good.
This is insane.
All right, well, yeah, there's a blood stain in there, and now there's nothing in the storage compartment, which is very suspicious. But whatever, I guess. Maybe that's why she was in the, because that was the thing, right? Was like, why would she be there with no benefit to herself? Maybe there was a benefit to herself. Maybe she was hoping to retrieve some personal goods that just so happened to be in this stored, you know?
I feel like we would have noticed if there was anything personal because we didn't see anything in there.
That's a good point. Like, I wish it, like that, like if that turns out to be why she was here, like that would be really cool if we looked in and we could have found like her personal item. That'd be interesting.
She's like a huge horse girl, and all that horse stuff was actually hers.
Yeah, there you go. Curl up in a ball, hiding her wee self away. I just want to go back. I don't want to go forward. I want to go back. Hey, stop it with the new animations.
No glumbling.
No grumbling.
No complaining.
All right, you promptly nodded off. And when you first got onto the omnibus, were there any other passengers already on board?
Didn't he
There
mention
was
this already?
The cabin was empty and there were no one on the roof deck either. What?
So he got on first.
Yeah.
You're the first passenger, as it were. I see.
Well, actually, maybe the second, because he sat on top of the place with the luggage compartment.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's why I took the backside as I did. Tis was the most comfortable, so it is.
Why is
True.
it the most? Oh, because it faces in the direction of motion. Could you explain exactly what you mean by the back seat?
The seat in the
By
back.
all means, tis how you already described it earlier. I was talking about the seat opposite the one in which the poor gentleman who was stabbed was sitting. Like I said, it is the most comfortable and where I feel most at ease.
It's most comfortable because there's not the corpse in it.
It's true.
Which is
of
often happening
course.
in the front side.
Yes. And as you can see, the gentleman sat in the front side and he got stabbed. Never happens in the back.
Died of uncomfortability, he did.
I would say that getting stabbed in the stomach is pretty uncomfortable, yeah.
Yeah. Thank
That's
you,
the
I've heard
symptom,
enough.
not the cause.
Thank you, I've heard enough.
There we go.
The events as explained are clear in my mind, in my mind's eye.
In
However-
my mind.
My mind. However, at least one conundrum remains. Who is that Pokemon?
Who are you?
Her name is Gina Lestrade, my lord.
That sounds familiar. I feel like this is going to be an important
That's
character.
that's a character from Sherlock Holmes, right?
I'm pretty
Lestrade?
sure Lestrade was the name of one of the like police detectives that would help.
Yeah.
So is Gina his daughter? I don't know. Let's just do Lestrade.
Hey, but like the other Sherlock characters in this game were like like the names were slightly different, but this one is just straight up Lestrade, unless it is spelled differently.
Detective
original text.
Inspector G. Lestrade is the name of the character. He was introduced in the Study of Scarlet, which is the very first Sherlock Holmes collection. The G stands for... oh, well, actually, let's keep an eye out for somebody named Gregson, Tobias Gregson. Do we? I don't think we know his first name.
Well,
then
Greg Lestrade from the Sherlock TV show. But that being said, Gina Lestrade appears to be related to that character, obviously.
Indeed.
That's very interesting. She's a chancer?
Yep,
Relieving people of their purses, yeah.
Earns a
Pickpocket.
crust among large crowds, relieving people of their purses. What's commonly
There we
called a
go.
pickpocket?
A what?
This girl here, a petty thief.
That's illegal. Wait a second.
Wait a second. You can't just do something illegal.
We need to put this trial on hold and try her for petty thievery. He's like, yes.
Order. What is your order?
I don't. What is your order? The waiter. What is your order?
Like 4 pints of royal blood and a hamburger.
Please. Extremely rare. Bloody, you might even say. But I remember there I don't remember, well, okay, so I remember the joke, but I don't remember where it came from. But it was like a bunch of guys sitting in a courtroom, and they were discussing how to respond to the threats of a revolution that was gonna like sweep through their city, and like they would all lose power. And one guy just goes, they can't do that. Revolution is illegal. And he just starts like panicking, and the entire joke is the rest of them explaining that revolutionaries don't care about legal value. And he's like, well, what are they gonna do? Just drink after 8 p.m.? And all the guys just like look at him, and he's like, no!
Oh no.
It's really funny.
Is this true, Miss Lestrade?
Go fuck yourself.
Miss Lestrade!
Dude, by this point, Zach's
Oh!
character.
Oh my god! What?
How dare you?
He's
You're
gonna
looking
pass.
at me too often.
What? He's gonna.
Oh! What?
The girl, she's gone!
Why does she still have a gun?
Why did she have a? Yeah.
Is this her? Or
I think this is her.
I think it is her. It's gotta be her.
He's. Oh!
Well,
This kind of just looks like what's her face? Fucking Pavlova.
I like this song.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
I think she is way too small to be Pavlova, though. Pavlova's taller.
I guess so, but I'm just saying because like her eyes are very similar. I don't know. She's Cockney. I don't.
Is she? All right.
I'm over here. Who wants to take it? Do you want me to just keep doing a bad Cockney accent?
You think I can do a better Cockney accent?
I don't know.
I think you
Try.
can do a better female.
Yeah, I mean, us boys have to hire our pitch.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
my ears.
Whatever. I'm over here.
Thank you.
There you go. That's way better.
Good gracious, how?
What was the point in that little sidestep?
I know what you lot are thinking. Grown-ups are all the same.
Ooh, I love
That's
it.
good, actually.
Good.
This dirty little dipper, you'll say, slipped up and got up caught in the job.
Do you think she just did a sidestep so that way she could swipe his purse?
Oh my god, that's totally it.
She got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed the gent.
She got herself back in the corner, so she knifed the gent, yeah? She has like a... she has the accent from Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels, where it's just, she got herself backed into a corner, so she knifed this gent. Yeah. Oh, now she's mad.
That's what you're in your heads, ain't it?
No, not at all. This is a court of law. We're here to determine the truth, not cast.
Oh,
Oh, it's green this time. I'm taking poison damage. She's doing the Jack Sparrow thing.
Only thugs use weapons like that. All I need for is I do with these fingers.
Juror 3 is like, what did you just say to me, you little shit?
Yeah.
I'm a professional, all right? Maybe not in your eyes, but I got pride in what I do.
If you look at her mouth, she has a little.
Sound like?
What?
You know who I'm starting to sound like?
What?
Mustache Kid.
Yeah.
Oh!
I'm legit. I'm like having flashbacks right now.
If you look at her mouth, she has a little bit of like the W mouth.
The cat. There's also the cat smirk.
Colon 3. The nya.
The nya face, which makes sense. Let me guess. You don't count smoke guns among weapons for thugs.
Oh, this. Yeah, this was in a bag I lifted the other day. Down where
Wait,
they
that's
keep
Sherlock
the four-wheeled
Holmes.
Drags. Oh, I guess she encountered him.
No, Herlock, your gun.
Herlock, she stole your smoke grenade gun.
He just barges into here being like, who stole my gun?
Lawrence, wrong kid. Although that's great. Where'd you get that?
If you type in like Hat Kid Smug, there's a bunch of pictures.
Oh, Hat Kid Smug is like a big red flag and profile picture for some reason.
Really?
Really? How so?
A lot of people that have had Kid Smug in their profile pictures are just really obnoxious.
Uh-oh.
Give me a second.
His profile to Hat Kid Smug.
No, I need Greeted to stay. Greeted embodies Zach so
I don't
well
even
whenever
remember. I don't even remember where Greedon is saved on my computer. So
No, that's fine. We can get it. It's on the Discord somewhere.
it won't let. Oh, there you go. Okay, here's your profile.
I'll miss you, Greeted.
Change avatar.
You look exactly like Zach.
It does not.
It looks exactly like Zach.
I'm pretty sure those were your words exactly. Exactly? Huh?
Dude, I have no idea where I just saved this fucking thing. What the fuck? How am I so bad at this?
I was gonna say you're an engineer, ain't you?
Save image. Yeah, I saved it here. I think. No.
Is it not a PNG that you can use for profile picture?
Oh, it's
Did
saved
Lawrence
as...
send you a fucking SVG?
Yeah, it's saved as all files. What the fuck?
Wow. Lawrence, what kind of fucking
There
scammer
you
did you
go.
download?
There you go. Now I got it. Now I got
Yeah,
Smug.
unbreakable.
So now I just have this weird all files on my desktop named Smug.
I'm
All
sure
right.
that will do no harm to your computer.
Yes. Thank you, Lawrence.
You're welcome.
You're welcome. All right. Now we're back in business.
How to brickify a computer ASAP.
What? Where'd it go? The green. It won't work. I can't grab it.
Your profile picture was snatched by Gina Lestrade.
Dude, that's so
She
fucking
fucking
annoying.
pickpocketed your profile pic from you.
All right. Well, now I have to turn streamer mode back on, and I don't know how.
She profile pickpocketed you? Huh?
God damn it. That's really good. All right. Well, I have no idea where the fuck I've been saving this because I keep like opening and then saving image, and it's like, oh, there it is, and then I go to use it, and it's like, nope, never mind.
This is good content.
Listen,
I'm just waiting to shoot you with this gun.
I just want to change my fucking profile picture.
You want to say something? I literally just told you it's like an internet red flag. It's like it's like one step above like cropped anime orgasm faces.
There was a guy there was a guy at Cogswell who came to school wearing the Ahagao.
I am aware. I sat next to him in a class or two.
I hate that guy.
I don't know him, but I mean that's a lifestyle choice.
I hate him for doing that.
I was gonna say, did you hate him solely for that purpose?
Yes.
Wait, if you...
Fair.
I may know who we're talking about.
Same.
I never met the person. I just saw them in the same class as me.
So you have met the person then?
Well, I don't remember their fucking
The
name.
dishonor.
I said something about my gun being pink, and you annoy me, so thanks.
So,
You admit
Slurpy
that your
slurp.
profile picture is green forever.
you admit that you were riding the omnibus the night in question, and you profile pickpocketed Zach.
No, she like opens up her pack and it's all of my profile pics that I've had over the years. And I'm like, no.
Oh no.
She's all right, lass. You can tell him the truth now.
Does she
This is so
work for
freaking
you?
hard.
Oh, she absolutely does.
All right, yeah. It's just like the Irishman said.
The court accepts this girl, Miss Gina Lestrade, as a valid and significant witness
I
in this
thought I was
case.
gonna say
I was gonna
this
say,
court
I
accepts
know
Miss
it's not.
Gina Lestrade as evidence.
I totally thought we were gonna get a little pop-up. It's the only person in our evidence and not our person section.
I was about to say that, but I was thinking like, oh, man, I can't have a voice clip of me saying that.
Oh man, could you imagine how fucked it would be if in a later case, just to really nail how racist the characters in this game are, there's a black guy and they admit him into evidence instead of as a witness.
No.
Oh my god.
That would be
They wouldn't.
awful.
They wouldn't put a black guy into the game in the first place.
Good point. It is Japan. Anyway,
Accordingly, young lady, we will now hear your testimony, if you please.
shut your fucking mouth.
And you will tell the court exactly what happened in Omnibus on the night in question.
Check your fucking privilege.
All right. I have to. She's quite spunky. I like her.
She hasn't done anything yet. She shot me with a grenade.
Well,
pretty
that's
spunky.
spunk, right?
It wasn't a grenade, it was
I really
smoke.
hope the grenade wasn't full of spunk.
Oh, that just reminded me of... I already told you, but that time I tried to make Spunky a thing in middle school.
I do. You did tell me about that.
It's pretty awful in retrospect.
So I snuck into the carriage before they hooked up with
Both
the
of these
horses, just like
characters are
always.
Saba.
I freaking hate this.
It's good,
With
though.
hard.
with heavy accents for
I
both of them.
know.
But it's good.
I don't
like
know,
it.
Saba. Do you want me to take what's his face? Just that way you can continue
Moneybags?
with your good.
Golden.
Yeah, just that way you can continue with your good mustache girl
I'm-
impression.
I'm trying as hard. Yeah, it's easier to focus, I guess.
Okay, so I'll
right,
I'll
Zach,
take
do
I take
Moneybags.
McGilded.
Mr. Moneybags.
But
Yeah,
I
okay,
might
so she's
always
sticking
be
around. You see that fucking animation? How many frames were on that animation?
I got nothing to show me for troubles that night. I'll tell ya, you can't see a blind thing in a hiding place. It's pitch in there. Then after a while, I hear this loud bang. Nearly jumped out of me skin, I did. And the scream just came out. It's because of that this swell found me. It didn't help him get away, mind. I don't even think I understood that
Admit
sentence.
it, you tried to
I
steal
don't
the
even think I
hourglass.
understood that sentence.
I said it, but I don't think I got it.
You know you're fucked when somebody talks to you and there's subtitles show up and there's apostrophes everywhere.
Oh my god.
You're like, oh my god. Yes, he let you go.
I fail to understand why you would let the street urchin go, Mr. McGilded.
Oh, it's simply, 'tis simply, simplicity itself. Wow, that's really hard to read. 'Tis simplicity itself, my lord. You see, she couldn't possibly have killed the other passenger. I knew that for a fact. How? As I'm sure I said before, sir. She was underneath me bottom.
My backside.
And as you can clearly see, the clap of my ass cheeks would prevent anybody from sneaking up on me.
Wow. I wasn't gonna go there, but wow, she's 15.
No, his ass cheeks, asshole. Adrian, I refuse to let you misrepresent me like this.
Damn. Oh, that hasn't stopped you before.
What? I have never misrepresented somebody else's intentions, ever.
What did you just say?
I need to clip that and send it to Grant so you can make a montage real quick.
Yeah. Roll the compilation.
I was sitting right on top of the place where she was hiding herself.
I think a demonstration is called for.
Oh, absolutely. This is where I sat at the night. What?
The cubby hole in which you have spoken is underneath the seat.
I like to imagine the whole court is crammed in here.
Yes. It does appear just large enough to accommodate someone of a girl's stature.
Why do I have to be in here too? There's not enough space.
Aye, but of course, the wee lass was stuck in there. Because I parked myself on the seat for the duration.
Oh.
I didn't even say anything that scary. I just said I sat down.
Oh.
So, an Irish. Anyway,
The judge is scared of sitting.
you see, that's why I let the last bolt. Bolt. Because it's a good movie. I knew that if the police found her there, they'd automatically assume she'd done it. But I couldn't live with myself if a young girl was ruined when all the time I knew she was innocent. I feel like I'm taking crazy pills reading this.
Even though you have realized your action would result in your own innocence being called into question.
Not at all, me lord, not at all. I knew it in my own heart that I was innocent, because I didn't stab him. So I thought it was worth taking a punt on my own good name for the less fortunate lass. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this is totally a ploy.
What a perfect gentleman.
Right, like this is definitely a scam, right?
I mean,
well,
it's
but
weird.
If this is a scam, doesn't that mean that he is the murderer?
I mean, not necessarily. It might just be him trying to play the audience up.
For what?
It's so weird because they have a bad opinion of him because he's a fucking extortionist.
I guess, but
it's so weird because he's obviously scheming, but he's on our side. So.
Well, and that's what I'm getting at, right? Where it's just like assuming that this is a ploy and that this is like more or less a lie because he's trying to like rebuild his public image, which I agree with you when you say that. What's the end game here? Like, if he didn't do it, it has to be her. She's the only other person that's in here.
What if there was a third person on the ceiling?
Oh my god!
Did we look?
It's Herlock Sholmes.
Have we looked up on the carriage yet?
It's Herlock Sholmes. I swear it.
Is someone hiding within someone's suitcase? Huh? Do we know?
Huh?
There's a contortionist third suspect.
This is a fine example of a man cannot possibly be guilty of a heinous crime like this.
Oh, it's working.
I'm ashamed of myself for ever doubting you, sir.
So now it's like the opposite, where it's like, wait a minute.
Yeah, like, hold up.
Is the prosecution about to pull something out of his ass too?
With calm, calculated reasoning, one arrives clearly at the truth every time.
The voice quiver is really good.
Sama's talented.
Correct.
Yay, we did it!
There's no way this is over. There's more to this. There's so much more
there's
to
no
this.
way. We just got
Thanks
introduced to a
lives.
new character who has like 70 frames of animation on her scoff. So it's like
Thought I do.
All 6 members of the jury consensual in their leaning to a verdict of not guilty.
you
Holy shit.
guys are so wishy-washy.
Mr. Naruto, it must mean
It must mean what?
that we're victorious.
What if Van Zykes used a summation examination against you as well?
He might.
I demand my right to a summation examination.
Have you not looked at this man? Look how stupid and Irish he is, and his counsel, being an Asian demon.
The jury's like, oh, that's compelling. I retract my not guilty verdict.
All 6 go to guilty. We're like, oh.
We're just locked in summation examination loops where...
Oh, there
here
you
we
go.
go.
Here you go.
What the fuck?
If the sight of my iron-heeled Wellington offends, pray do forgive the discourtesy.
Oh my god, Zach, what laugh is this? He's turned into like a
He's a goblin. He's goblin
yeah,
eyes.
goblin clown or something.
Goblin clown. That's a good combo.
Excuse me, sir.
He's a cloblin, Adrian.
Well, he can't dirty his fucking hands on that desk.
Dude, you see kind of like the rimming of like his thing. It reminds me of like Western stuff. So maybe maybe his boots.
I will
are, like,
say I have
less
definitely seen this
quality.
animation before, but seeing it in the moment is something special.
Oh, God.
Oh, dude, what the fuck is this guy's deal? What are you talking about? Why is it this? It's so weird compared to everything else that he does.
He's got hobnail boots, dude.
So I will admit, I do vaguely remember you mentioning something like this, Adrian. But like of a prosecutor using their foot as their like objection slam. But I thought that the thing would be that he would have like a glass in one hand, the bottle in the other, and then because he didn't have any hands left, he would use his foot.
No, he just does that.
He just uses his boot. What kind of a weirdo is this?
He's Van Zeeks.
Oh my god, we're like done.
We're done, yeah. We'll leave off on this clip. We have to leave off so that Grant can see this next time.
Oh my god.
Leave on this frame so that Grant can see this glorious fucking frame.
Yeah.
Fucking ow, dude.
The cleanest
Oh
objection
god,
you've
what
seen.
a brilliant way to end off again.
Correct.
Dying of laughter.
Oh,
It was so unexpected.
It's quite fabulous.
True.
Everyone's got pretty nice hair in this game too, I must admit.
It's
I
true.
found the hair game.
Very true.
Except for Juror 1.
Excuse you, I think his hair looks great.
He's fucking bald. He doesn't have hair.
Everyone that matters
Can you just say
I see
everyone
how
that
it is.
matters?
has good hair.
That's so rude. Why would you say that?
Yeah, the jury doesn't matter. They only decide who's innocent and guilty.
Yeah,
Dude,
exactly.
we're not gonna see them after this case. Are we? I don't know.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, if it's the
we-
same 6 people every time.
I was gonna say, both of the options are crazy in that it's the same people every time, or that we see a completely different 6 people every time.
We gotta voice them all differently too.
It's insane.
No, Green! This feels wrong. Boris, this feels
I
wrong.
figured it out.
I done?
I figured how to get it working.
I better
God.
see this return eventually, or I'm not talking to Zach anymore. I don't know.
Congratulations,
I'm not
Zach.
Zach. I'm an inanimate pineapple.
Congratulations, Zach. You've now framed yourself as someone who participates in discourse over the age of consent on Twitter.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I told you about how bad of a connotation that profile
You did
picture
not.
has.
You did not give any sort of an indication. That's not fair.
I
the
told
judge
you,
say
like, that's
he was
that's
telling
a
the
red
truth.
flag. I was like, that's one step below, like, orgasming anime girl.
Right, but that doesn't like imply.
You know what this means?
It does. It implies that it's bad.
Greed.
I'm actually like desperately trying to find Greedent and I can't find it. Oh, I found it. I found it.
Is it the one with the glasses?
Yes.
Thank
But
God.
now I have to remember the orientation that I had it, so that way.
It was facing left, I think.
Does it matter?
I meant like size. It does. It
That's
does
not
matter.
Orientation, that's size. Orientation is like.
I meant
rotated
position,
or-
I guess. There we go. How's that? How does that look? Does that look about right? No, that's wrong.
I have no idea what you're
There's a
talking
little
about.
bit of a. It's a little off to the side.
It takes time to update it for us.
Just zoom in all the way on Creedon's face. There you go.
Oh wait, hang on. Is this?
There you go.
Am I?
now I'm hyper zoomed in on Greedent face.
Well, I forgot I could just send you a screenshot of what it looked like before. If that
Oh,
cares, if you
that's
care.
thank you.
that
That's extremely
looks
convenient.
So nice, yeah.
All right. So now
because
I
it didn't
can
upgrade. It didn't update your profile pictures on your previous
Guys,
posts.
tell me that isn't that you just when you look at that picture, don't you just feel like you're
I
talking
made that myself to just make an argument because I saw Lawrence and I stole his idea. Or no, I think Grant made the drawing edit first, and then I stole it.
I think Grant.
It was either Grant or Lawrence that I stole the idea
I
from.
don't think it was me because it would have taken
Yeah,
me
so I
forever
think
to
it was
You
Grant.
figure out
changed
what
your
the
avatar
Pokemon was.
too fast. Try again later.
Wow.
What the fuck?
That is an anti-bot measure.
Oh well, shit. All right. Well, I guess now it won't let me leave because it's like you have to save.
Great.
All right. Well,
cannot
anyway,
escape.
stream's over. Good night, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Good night,
We'll change
everyone.
it
See you
later.
later.
Goodbye.
Bye, y'all.